Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today's game is going to feature the Minnesota Twins versus the Boston Red Sox in a morning game from Fenway Park on Patriots Day. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the Major League Baseball, the MLB, PA, or their sponsors. We're providing live reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking audiences around the globe can enjoy the game on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Well, first off, begin by giving you the starting lineups for the visitors from Minnesota. The Twins are going to send up leading off, and playing second base, wearing number 11, is Jorge Polanco. Batting second and playing shortstop, wearing number 4, is Carlos Correa. Batting third and wearing number 15, playing third base, is Gio Urshela. In the cleanup spot in right field, wearing number 30, is Kyle Garlick. Batting fifth and doing the catching, wearing number 24, is Gary Sanchez. Batting sixth and playing in left field, wearing number 13, is Trevor Larnach. Batting seventh and playing first base, wearing number 22, is Miguel Sano. Batting eighth and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 22, is Ryan Jeffers. And batting ninth and playing in center field, wearing number 67, is Gilberto Celestino, and they are going to be facing a left-hander from the Boston Red Sox. It'll be Rich Hill on the hill today. He is getting his second start of the season. In game one of the season, he was roughed up. He went 4 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. He was given a no decision in his opening game with the Red Sox this year. He will take to the hill the veteran left-hander. He has been with many teams over the course of his big league career, but he's won more than he's lost. He has a career 74-52 record in 18 years, pitching in Major League Baseball. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the Boston Red Sox. Leading off and playing in center field, wearing number 5, is Enrique Hernandez. Batting second and playing third base, wearing number 11, is Rafael Devers. Batting third and playing shortstop, wearing number 2, is Xander Bogaerts. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 28, is JD Martinez. Batting fifth in left field, wearing number 99, is Alex Verdugo. Batting sixth and playing second base, wearing number 39, is Christian Arroyo. Batting seventh at first base, wearing number 23, is Travis Shaw. In the eighth spot and doing the catching, wearing number 7, is Christian Vasquez. And batting ninth and playing in right field, wearing number 19, is Jackie Bradley Jr. They are going to be a grizzled right-hander in Dylan Bundy. Of course, Bundy was once upon a time the ace of the Baltimore Orioles staff. He spent the last couple of seasons with the Los Angeles Angels and is now applying his trade with the Minnesota Twins. He is 1-0 on the season. He went 5 innings in his first start, allowing only 1 hit, walking 1 and striking out 2. He only faced 18 batters in that first appearance, 3 over the minimum for his time on the hill. So it'll be Bundy versus Hill here in Boston. We're about ready to get this one underway, as this is about ready to get ourselves going here. The game today, it's a beautiful sunny day, but the temperature's a little on the brisk side. It is 50 degrees. The umpires for today's game behind the plate is Adam Hamari. Working first base is Jerry Lane. The second base umpire is Hunter Wendelstadt, and the third base umpire is Edwin Moscoso. And the wind today is blowing from right to left at about 8 miles an hour. Of course, it is in Fenway, and that always does have a bit to change. It is Patriots Day, and that's why there is the early start. The Boston Marathon will also get going today. So it's a busy day in Boston for the fans and for the sports city it is. We do want to welcome Phil Cantillon into the house as he is listening today. We thank you for stopping by, and we appreciate your support of our channel. And this one here is ready to get going and underway as Rich Hill has completed his warm-up tosses. We have undrafted player in the house as well, our visitor from France. We appreciate you as well today here. So Rich Hill ready to get things going. He was working from the windup. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. We are underway with local time 11:11 as the first pitch. So one strike here to no balls and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. For Polanco on the season, he's hitting .200. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the first base line, but it's going to reach the seats just behind the camera well, and that is going to run the count now to 0-2. When you look at the lineup for the Minnesota Twins, there are some really gaudy numbers. Offensively, there's only one player that is batting .250 or more, and that is Trevor Larnach, hitting way down in the sixth spot. He's hitting .250 on the button. Today's lineup, there's a lot of players hitting below the proverbial Mendoza line, and that is a number of their starters here, including Carlos Correa, who's only batting $133. And there is a fastball that is swung on and tipped into the middle of the catcher. And Polanco is retired on strikes for out number one here in the first inning. So 1 up and 1 twin away. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Carlos Correa. For Correa, as we mentioned, he's hitting $133. He's got a homer and 1 RBI to begin his Minnesota career. A long-time Houston Astros shortstop inked a 3-year deal with the Twins in the offseason, and here comes the first pitch from Rich Hill. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Correa, of course, a World Series champion with the Houston Astros, but also had the luxury of a number of bats around him in the batting order. The Minnesota Twins are trying to sort themselves out in some ways. They're without Byron Buxton, who finds himself on the DL yet again, and there is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. Without Max Kepler today in the starting lineup, and of course, Miguel Sano, who is getting the start at first base today, really struggling to start the season. So the core players for the Twins that they've invested a lot of money into haven't really delivered as they have expected in the early going, other than Buxton, who unfortunately finds himself on the DL. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. It's going to get down in front of the center fielder, Kiki Hernandez. That is going to be a base hit for Carlos Correa here with 1 out in the first inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Gio Urshela. For Urshela on the season, he's hitting .227 with a homer and a couple RBIs. Urshela was acquired in the spring training in a blockbuster trade with the New York Yankees. Going the other way was Josh Donaldson, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Ben Rortvedt. So Gary Sanchez was the other player coming to the Twins. So Urshela and Sanchez, they flipped around and made some changes and also saved a little bit of money. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Urshela. Urshela began his big league career at the major league level with the Cleveland Indians. He then went on to the Toronto Blue Jays for a brief cup of coffee and then ended up in New York, and he really found himself as a Yankee, fit in nicely in that organization, was able to produce as well. There was a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even. Count goes now to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Urshela. Urshela will be followed by Kyle Garlick. So here comes the 1-2 pitch to Urshela, and instead Hill flips it over to first, and getting back in time is the base runner Correa. Correa is not much of a threat to steal bases. Over the course of his career, he's only stolen 33 bases in 41 attempts. And there is a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into shallow center field. Moving over to his right and making the catch is Hernandez. And that is 2 away here in the first inning. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder, Kyle Garlick. Kyle Garlick comes to bat. He does not have any numbers yet this season. He's appeared in a couple of games. He's had 3 at-bats. He's struck out all 3 times he's been to the plate. He has nothing across the slash line either. And there's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Garlick. Garlick began his big league career with the Los Angeles Dodgers back in 2019, and then he went on to Philly, and this is his second season with the Twins. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes even at 1-1. That last pitch, it was hard to determine if the last pitch was any different than the one before. Both pitches looked like they were very good. They are playing Garlick around to the left side of the infield. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is taken outside for a ball, and the count is 2-1. Garlick in limited at-bats last year with the Twins, hit .232 with 5 homers and 10 RBIs. He shows he's got some pop. He is going to be 31 years old after the season. He turned 30 in early January. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now runs to 3-1 on Garlick. Key for Rich Hill today will be to be able to throw strikes and keep runners off the base paths. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left, and this ball is off the wall. It's played by the left fielder Verdugo, but is it a home run or not? We're going to have to wait and see, as everybody there might have to take a look at this. Garlick is stopped at second. Correa is over at third. And they're pointing up to say, hey, did this ball go over top of the monster or not? And I think this one will be reviewed, and I think this one is going to be ruled a home run based on the replays we're seeing. It hit right off the top of the wall, and then there's a little bit of a lip or a ledge, and the ball came right back into the field of play. Everybody is stopped right now, but we're going to have to take a peek at this. And I think it's over top of the red line, which is up the top of the green monster. And so they're going to make their decision here as the crew has got together early in this one, talking about what they see. That call would be of the third base umpire, who would be doing the ball game today. He would have had to make the decision on that one. That would be the third base umpire is Hunter Wendelstedt today, and they are ruling it a home run, and that's exactly what it is. So Kyle Garlick has put the Twins on the board. Now he gets to finish his trot as he is stalled at second base. And Correa will cross the plate in front of him, and that is a 2-0 lead here now for the Twins in the top of the first inning. So we've got like father, like son stopping off. We appreciate you coming in there, Joe. Thanks for stopping by today as everybody else is in the house. So 2-0 here for the Twins. We never know what to expect on Patriots Day. Sometimes it is all kinds of craziness. So here we go. We're ready to get back to the live action. And the first pitch delivered to Gary Sanchez is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Sanchez. Hill ready to go back to work. He delivers again. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is now 0-2. Sanchez on the season is hitting .240. He's got a homer and 7 RBIs. Here comes Hill ready to go back to work. He delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled back. Keeps the count at 0-2. Of course, Gary Sanchez, very familiar with the Boston Red Sox, as he was a division rival for the last number of years with the New York Yankee organization. So he knows what to expect playing in here. And here comes another pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul. And keeps the count at 0-2. And here we go as Hill gets himself a new baseball. He works fairly quickly without runners on base. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. This ball is swung on. It is smashed to third. A nice play by Devers, diving to his left to make the play. He gets up. He fires across the infield. And Sanchez, who stops running to first base about 10 feet before the bag, is ruled out for being off the baseline. That's going to go down as a ground out. 5-3 for out number 3. But the damage has been done here in the top of the first inning. The Twins get 2 runs on the home run by Kyle Garlick. There were 2 hits, there were no errors, and nobody left the board. We are through a half inning. It is Minnesota 2, Boston nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning. In just a couple of moments. We're glad you guys could be here to check this out with us today. Thanks for being here. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment as we are going to be going to the bottom of the first inning. Here's our friend Dave from Zero Fox Sports. Be sure to check out his channel after the game.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Fox Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the first inning. It is going to be Enrique Hernandez, Rafael Devers, and Xander Bogaerts coming up to face Dylan Bundy. That is the top of the order for the Red Sox. They got tagged on a 2-run homer in the top of the first inning by Kyle Garlick, his first hit of the 2022 campaign. His ball had left the yard, but there had to be some decisions on that because they weren't sure if it had left the park or not. And it was above the red line, which goes atop the green monster. It landed on the top of the monster, and then it had deflected off a little piece of, or what we would call almost like a little stanchion. Came back onto the field of play, and the umpires got together and ruled it was a home run. And that is where we stand now, 2-0 for the Twins. And so Dylan Bundy ready to go to work. The first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Kiki Hernandez. On the season, Hernandez is batting .184. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. He's off to a bit of a slow start, although last season, Red Sox fans know how he can catch fire. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count now runs to 0-2. Dylan Bundy getting the start today for the Minnesota Twins. This is his second career start for the Twins. There's a breaking ball that's down. They appeal over to first base and to see if he went, and the first base umpire says he went, as the catcher Gary Sanchez has to pick up the ball and apply the tag to Hernandez to retire him for the first out of the inning. So that is 1 up and 1 in the books, and that will bring up the third baseman, Rafael Devers. For Devers on the season, he's off to a very strong start. He's batting .368. He's got a couple of homers and 7 runs batted in. He bats from the left side against the right-hander Bundy, and he swings at a fastball and fouls it away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Devers. Dylan Bundy was a workhorse for the Baltimore Orioles. When he left, they have been not a pitching-rich organization in recent years. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count now is 0-2 to Devers. They are certainly not a pitching-rich organization at the major league level, and to lose someone who ate up a lot of innings for them was a big loss. He never, however, lived up to his billing in Los Angeles. He had a really tough season last year. He only won a couple of games, and he lost 9. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. It is a changeup swung on. It's tapped slowly over the head of the pitcher. It's fielded by the second baseman, Polanco. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. That's going to be a ground out, 4-3. For out number 2 here in the first inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. And I have to check that sometimes because that was actually the ground out 6-3, how it will go, because it was the second baseman or was playing in the rover position, and the shortstop, Carlos Correa, was to the right side of the infield. As we saw some of the games on the weekend, sometimes it's the shortstop who will stay home and the third baseman will become the rover. And here comes the first pitch to Bogaerts. It is swung on. It is grounded to the left side. It's going to get through the 6-hole into left field. And Xander Bogaerts is aboard with a single to get things going with 2 outs here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the first inning. So Bogaerts is aboard, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, J.D. Martinez. For Martinez on the season, he's off to a bit of a slow start. He's hitting .250 with a homer and 6 RBIs. He steps up to the plate to face the right-hander Bundy. Bundy working from the stretch for the first time. He checks the runner at first, and he comes set at the chest. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow right field. Moving in on it is the right fielder Garlick. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it as Martinez is retired for the third out here in the first inning. So for the Red Sox in their half of the first, there was no runs, one hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We're now through one complete in Boston. It is the Minnesota Twins 2, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the second inning. We're glad you could be here with us.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of the channel. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the second inning. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the second inning. It's going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up to bat for the Twins. That means it's Trevor Larnach, Miguel Sano, and Ryan Jeffers to face the veteran Rich Hill. It is 2-0 for the Twins with a 2-run homer in the first inning by Kyle Garlick. And so Rich Hill ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right center field. Moving over underneath it is Kiki Hernandez. He's going to make the catch. And that will retire Larnach on one pitch and one away here in the top of the second inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Miguel Sano. For Sano, he is batting .077, and he's got a homer and 2 RBIs. Our friend Undrafted Player says Miguel Sano was such a promising player. Absolutely, there was a lot of money spent into Sano or put into Sano. There was lots of thoughts that he was going to be a cornerstone of the franchise. And it's really not played out as such. There was a breaking ball. Misses outside, and the count is 1-0. In some ways, cornerstone has turned into millstone. The corner player really, right now, there's probably wouldn't be many takers to want Miguel Sano, not just because of what he's done this year, but because of the inconsistencies he's had over the last few seasons, coupled with injuries. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count runs even at 1-1. It's almost a disappointment in some ways for Minnesota fans, as this player oozes potential. He really fills out a uniform. He's got great pop in the stick. He just can't seem to get himself on track and put together a string of consistent at-bats, or for that matter, even games at the big league level. He's shown flashes of brilliance. Unfortunately, that hasn't been with consistency. And here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Miguel Sano. Rich Hill gets the sign from his catcher, Christian Vasquez, and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is belted foul down the left field line. It's going to get into the seats, and the count remains at 2-2. When you think of some of the players in the lineup, obviously, or those for that matter, not in the lineup today, As we said, Byron Buxton had a great start to the first week of the season, and then he landed on the disabled list. Max Kepler is not in the lineup today. He's another regular for the Twins. There's a breaking ball swung on, and this is fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Rich Hill, the veteran left-hander, ready to go back to work. That last ball that was swung on was fouled off by Sano, went into the Twins dugout. The players were all diving for cover in there. It was kind of funny to see, but it can be very dangerous, especially when the ball goes into the dugout and can ricochet around. You have to be paying attention and watch what's going on at all times. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hill rocks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count now runs to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hill gets the sign from his catcher, ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats way down the left field line. And again, it keeps the count at 3-2. This is a 9-pitch at bat now for Sano, as he is going to be seeing pitch number 10 coming up here. He's really battling the crafty lefty. Hill gets the sign from his catcher. He rocks into the windup. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Sano for the second out of the inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. getting the start in right field. Of course, the Red Sox fans in his first tour with the Red Sox, who patrolled a lot of center field for the club. They've got Kiki Hernandez, and with Bradley getting a little longer in the tooth, he's moved over to the corner. Still a very good defensive player, had a solid season in Milwaukee last year. So here's the first pitch delivered to the designated hitter, Ryan Jeffers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. For Jeffers, he's batting .158. He's got nothing on his slash line. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Jeffers. One would have to ask if the Twins are a team in flux. Certainly on the offensive side, they've tried to retool a little bit. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. On the pitching side, in terms of name power, they do have some arms that they've acquired, obviously, but they've got some problems as there's some of their starters are on the disabled list. Sonny Gray has joined the ranks on the disabled list. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. And of course, Kenta Maeda is recovering from Tommy John surgery. He won't be back for well into the season. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jeffers. And here comes Hill, ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Jeffers ready to dig back in. Here comes the offering from Hill. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's tap foul over by the third base dugout, and that keeps the count at 3-2. Hill, it's hard to tell sometimes where his fastball is and where his changeup is, or if he has a changeup. He's pretty much sitting in the upper 80s with his fastball. And here comes the 3-2. It's a breaking ball that is swung on. That's lifted foul on the third base side. It's going to keep the count at 3-2. He is not overpowering. He's in the twilight of his career. He's pitched with a number of clubs at the big league level, and Boston is his latest stop. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. He kicks and he fires. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Jeffers is down on strikes for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it for the Twins in their half of the second. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1.5. It is the Minnesota Twins 2, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around. Everybody will be back in just a couple minutes with the call. The bottom of the second inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. Here's our friend Matt.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the second inning. It's going to be Alex Verdugo, Christian Arroyo, and Travis Shaw to come up to face Dylan Bundy. Our friend Phil Cantillon says Sano will get it going. The Twins will be a good team as the season progresses. The good thing that the Twins have going for them, they are playing in my opinion, and arguably the weakest division in all of baseball. With the Twins, the Tigers, the Royals, the Guardians, and the White Sox. They will be able to get it going against some of those teams over there for sure. The concern is more along the lines of chemistry and health. Are the Twins going to be able to keep it together? In some ways, I often wonder if they do underachieve a little bit because there is some talent on that roster, especially when you look at some of the teams in that division. So here comes the first pitch delivered to Alex Verdugo. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. For Verdugo on the season, he's batting .300. He's got 3 homers and 8 RBIs. He was one of the main combatants or main pieces in the Mookie Betts trade. There is a fastball swung on. It is grounded to the shortstop, Correa, who's on the right side of second base. He fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Verdugo on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Christian Arroyo. Arroyo on the season off to a slow start. He's hitting .154. He's got no homers and a couple of RBIs. The one-time San Francisco Giant prospect has found a home in Boston as he takes a fastball for a called strike. The inside corner, and the count is 0-1. Arroyo had a brief stop in Tampa Bay. There's a fastball. This is swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is Jorge Polanco, and he makes a basket catch at his waist for the second out of the inning, and that's 2 up and 2 quick outs, and that's going to leave it up to the first baseman, Travis Shaw. Just to finish off on Arroyo, he had also a very brief stop with the Cleveland Indians back in 2020 for 1 game. And since then, he has found a home in Boston. He was probably the best year of his career in the big leagues last year for Arroyo. Now that is going to bring up the Travis Shaw, and he takes a first pitch down for ball, and the count is 1-0. For Shaw on the season, he has got nothing so far. He is 0 for 3 on the year with a strikeout. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and that's going to even the count at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It was fouled away as it was tipped into the mid of the catcher, though. So here comes the pitch to Shaw. It's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and that runs the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shaw. There's a fastball. This is swung on, and this is going to be hooked foul into the seats. He hooked it, and it went beyond the netting. Actually hooked the netting and was able to reach the seats down the right field line. Keeps the count at 1-2. So Bundy makes no bones about it. He gets the ball. He's ready to go back to work, and there's a changeup that swung on. It's tapped foul behind home plate. And the count remains at 1-2 to Shaw. Bundy, ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and he fires. It's a changeup off the outside corner. That makes the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shaw. Right-hander against the left-hander. Bundy ready to go back to work. He rocks in the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind the third base dugout. And that runs the count still to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shaw. Shaw is in his second tour with the Red Sox. And here comes the pitch from Bundy. It's a changeup that misses off the outside corner. And now the count goes to 3-2. Dylan Bundy is not the overpowering pitcher that he once was in Baltimore. His fastball today is really just sat at around 90, 91 miles an hour. And here comes the pitch from Bundy. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There is a fastball taken for a called third strike. Shaw stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it for the Red Sox here in their half of the second inning. So for Boston, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. It is the Minnesota Twins 2, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We call at the top of the third inning. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. He's a friend of our channels, and in turn, we are a supporter of his.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you, Steve. That's Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to check out his channel. We're going to be cruising to the top of the third inning, and we'll be back in just a moment after these tunes with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. We're cruising to the top of the third inning. It's going to be Gilberto Celestino, Jorge Polanco, and Carlos Correa. It's the 9-1-2 hitters in the Twins batting order to get things going against Rich Hill. And the first pitch to Celestino from Hill is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. For Celestino on the season, he is 0 for 4 on the year. He does not have a hit yet. He's appeared in 3 games. He struck out a couple of times. He's getting the start today, and there he takes a breaking ball down for a ball, and the count goes to 1-1. Celestino made his big league debut for the Twins last year. He appeared in 23 games. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. Celestino is 23 years old. He hails from the Dominican Republic. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball in on the hands, and it's a jam job that's going to drop into shallow center field for a base hit. And Celestino is aboard to lead off the third inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Jorge Polanco. For Polanco, he is 0 for 1 today. He struck out his first time up. His season average has slipped to 194. As we said with most of these Minnesota Twins, the numbers on the offensive side have been tough so far this season. They haven't quite got things going yet. The pitch was a little bit down the handle of the bat, and he was able to fight it off. Did a good job, Celestino did, of keeping his hands inside on Hill. And Hill throws over to first base, and getting back in time is the base runner, Celestino. He got the start tonight in center field, or this afternoon in center field. He, in the minor leagues, has shown he can run a little bit. And again, Hill throws over to first, and again, getting back in time is the base runner. Best season was back in 2018. He stole 22 bases between rookie ball and double A. He had 3 levels of organization that year. So Hill now kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball to Polanco taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. And we've got Osahan. I don't know how to say his name properly. He's jumping in here, and we appreciate you for tuning in. I apologize for not being able to enunciate your name, but we thank you for being here today. So here comes the pitch to Polanco. It is a breaking ball, again taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Hill ready to go back to work. He peers in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Vasquez. He comes set at the chest. He kicks and he fires. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. Moving back and looking up, and this ball is gone. It is gone over the green monster, and Jorge Polanco has doubled the Minnesota Twin lead to 4-0 as that ball got out in a big hurry. And that ball is now going to cross. Celestino crosses the plate, and Polanco right behind him. And that is going to increase the lead here for the Twins. Hill left that breaking ball up. That was the third one in a row in the at-bat, and it was absolutely crushed. Went over the monster, and it was about 3 rows up. I'd say 3 levels up on the monster. And that is now going to bring up the shortstop, Carlos Correa, who takes a fastball inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. For Correa today, he is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up and scored a run on the home run by Garlick. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes 1-1. So the power has come out today for the Twins, as in both home runs have accounted for all 4 of the runs scored today. So here comes the 1-1 pitch to Correa. Hill rocks into the motion. He kicks and he fires, and it's a breaking ball swung on, and Correa fouls it off into his shin guard that he wears on the left leg, and that's going to make the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. KK is in the house today again. Over the monster it is. Yes, it was. That's 2 over the monster now today. And here comes the 1-2 pitch to Correa. Hill rocks in the motion. He fires. It is a fastball that just misses inside, and the count goes to 2-2. At the rate that Rich Hill is pitching today, one would think that he is probably not going to sniff the 6th inning. I'd be shocked if he's able to even get through 5 at this point. This is going to be the 49th pitch of the ball game. And here comes the pitch to Correa. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side, and that keeps the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carlos Correa. Correa resets himself as he gets into the box. Hill ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from Vasquez. He's working from the third base side of the pitching rubber as he faces the right-hander Correa. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Correa. Gio Urshela is waiting his turn on deck. And here comes the 3-2 to Correa. Hill kicks and fires. There is a fastball that misses upstairs. That is ball 4. And Correa has drawn himself a walk here. And that'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, Gio Urshela. The way Rich Hill is pitching today, it's a surprise there's not fights at the bat rack. Hill does not have his best stuff, and I mean fights at the bat rack for the Twins as we want to be racing to the plate. Rich Hill looks like he is the tonic for the Minnesota Twin batters today, as they've really struggled this season, but you would never know it based on the first 2+ innings here. 2-run homer by Garlick and a 2-run homer by Polanco have jump-started the Twins' offense. And so here comes the first pitch to Urshela. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is hit into left field. It's going to get down in front of the left fielder, Verdugo. And Urshela is aboard with a single, and that's going to put runners at first and second. And there is trouble brewing here with nobody out in the 3rd inning. So Correa is the runner at second. Urshela is the runner at first, and that brings up Kyle Garlick, who deposited a 2-run homer over the monster his first time up. He steps into the plate. That was his first hit of the season for Garlick. He's now 1 for 4 on the campaign, and here comes the pitch from Hill. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Garlick batting from the right side. Waiting on the offering from Hill. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is built into deep left field. Moving over underneath it on the edge of the warning track is Verdugo, but he's going to haul it in. That is going to be a fly ball to 7 for out number 1 here in the 3rd. That's going to bring up Gary Sanchez. There is action now in the Boston bullpen as Phillips Valdez is now getting hot. And one would think that they have a 5-alarm blaze on their hands here. The runner at second is Correa. The runner at first is Urshela, and Sanchez stepping to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. He's grounded to third his first time up. When we talk of chemistry changes, Gary Sanchez being moved out of New York, kind of wonder sometimes how he was in the clubhouse with the Yankees. The former manager, Joe Girardi, it was publicly known that he and Sanchez had their differences. Me in Minnesota, it'll be interesting to see how the culture takes over in the clubhouse of the Minnesota Twins. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and count is quickly 0-1. Sometimes players, when they're in an organization or they're in a spot for too long, they get a little bit complacent, a little bit too comfortable. So this move to Minnesota may actually help the career. And there is Rich Hill stepping off the mound towards second base, and scampering back to the bag is Carlos Correa. So here comes the 1-strike pitch to Sanchez. Hill holds at the belt. He checks the runner at second. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sanchez. Hill ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher Vasquez, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up over just behind second base. The infield fly rule is in effect. Xander Bogaerts hauls it in, and that is going to retire Sanchez for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Trevor Larnach. For Larnach today, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. He Bats from the left side against the lefty Hill, one of the few left-handed hitters in the Minnesota batting order today. Hill ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a changeup that misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Larnach. I was interested to see how Hill works the side of the rubber. Hill likes to work from the third base side of the rubber to right-handers, but he also stays on that side for lefties. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded softly to second. Arroyo fields it. He flips it over to first, and that is going to do it. But the damage has been done here by the Twins in their top of the third inning. There was 2 runs in the inning on the 2-run homer by Jorge Polanco. There were 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the third inning. It is the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the third inning. We're glad you could join us today on Patriot Day. Here's our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to face Dylan Bundy here in the bottom of the third inning. That means it's Christian Vasquez, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Enrique Hernandez. We're ready to get this one back underway. Vasquez steps up, hitting $150 on the season with no homers and 1 RBIs. Takes a first pitch fastball off the outside corner for ball 1, and the count is quickly 1-0. Vasquez, the everyday catcher and the number 1 catcher for the Boston Red Sox. He's held the position down for the last few seasons. He waits on the offering from Bundy. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into the seats down the left field line. That's going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. He's got a very good command of the pitching staff. He really works well with the pitchers. He's not known for his offense. Anything that you can get from Vasquez is an added bonus. And he has been productive at times in his career. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. Vasquez, the Puerto Rican native, is a career T8 hitter. Arguably his best season came all the way back in 2019 when he hit 23 bombs and batted .276. There's a breaking ball that misses. And the count is, as we said, 2-1. Here comes the pitch. Bundy delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow right center field. Moving over to his left is Celestino. He's going to make the grab. That is going to do it for Vasquez, and that is going to retire him for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the right fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. For Jackie Bradley Jr., he was reacquired by the Red Sox in the offseason. He had spent the first 8 years of his career in a Red Sox uniform before moving over to the Milwaukee Brewers. He digs in at the plate, waiting on the first offering from Bundy. Right-hander against the left-hander. Bundy kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Bradley Jr. He has a slightly open stance, and here comes the pitch from Bundy. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even to 1-1. He was an all-star back in 2016. He's won only one Gold Glove, which is a little surprising. Jackie Bradley Jr. is kind of known for his defense, his stellar defense. There's a changeup swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. Even last year in Milwaukee, he made some outstanding plays, covered a lot of ground in center field. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. Of course, Lorenzo Cain is the center fielder in Milwaukee. And so Bradley would sometimes bounce over into the corner outfield spot. And of course, today he's getting the nod in right field. There's the 1-2 pitch. It's a changeup that misses off the outside corner, and that runs the count to 2-2. Even though he runs fairly well, the best year of his career was in 2018 when he stole 17 bases. And here comes the pitch, and it is a changeup swung on and fouled away. Keeps the count at 2-2. Of course, you have to get on base to be able to steal, and Bradley is not known for his bat. He's only a .230 lifetime hitter. And .230 at Fenway Park is not exactly a great number when it is a hitter's friendly park. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Bradley is gone for out number 2 here in the third inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Enrique Hernandez. For Hernandez today, he began the ball game by striking out his first time up. His average has slipped to 179 on the season, as he is 0 for 1 today. As we said, the super utility player, not to worry about him, as he has shown in the past that he has great pedigree. He will be able to get things going. Red Sox fans saw that last year. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Hernandez. Bundy gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to deliver. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2. So Dylan Bundy today really starting off strong, able to mix his pitches, his breaking ball, and his fastball. Here comes the 0-2. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but Jerry Lane says he didn't go. It's going to run the count now to 1-2. Hernandez does have a 5-game hitting streak going. He's looking to extend it to 6 games here today. Here comes the pitch from Bundy. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Count now runs square to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hernandez. Bundy gets the sign from his catcher Sanchez, and he's ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly to second. Fielded neatly by Polanco. He throws to first. And that is going to do it here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the third inning. So the Sox again go quietly and in order. That's 7 in a row retired by Bundy. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 3 complete. It is the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call of the top of the 4th inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. Here again is our friend Dave from Zero Fox. Be sure to check out his channel after the game and let him know Last Drops Baseball sent you.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Fox Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Yo, I'm like an addict, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the fourth inning. It's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat for the Minnesota Twins. That means Miguel Sano, Ryan Jeffers, and Gilberto Celestino. And the first pitch delivered from Rich Hill is an 86-mile-an-hour fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Sano. Sano today is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. Digs in, waiting on the offering from the left-hander Hill. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's smacked foul down the left field line. It goes into the indentation, and the ball girl has to come and play it off the wall. And that is going to run the count quickly now to 0-2 to Sano. Hill ready to go back to work as he gets the sign from his catcher Vasquez. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses up and in. And the count goes to 1-2. The right-hander Phillips Valdez is still up in the Boston bullpen. And here comes the 1-2 offering from Hill. He kicks and fires. It is a changeup that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. As I said a couple innings ago, or back in the early part of the third inning, I didn't think that Hill would get through the fifth, as he's about to deliver his 64th pitch right here, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep center field. Moving over to his left is Hernandez. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Sano for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Jeffers. For Jeffers today, he is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He gave Hill a battle. It was a quality at bat, as he did take Hill to 8 pitches. He gets the nod as the DH today, and his average has slipped to 150 on the season. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strike to Jeffers. I don't think we've seen Hill touch more than 90 miles an hour today, and it's only maybe been once or twice. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul. That's going to get toward the third base dugout. So 1 ball and 1 strike. A nice play in the dugout on the bounding ball. I'm not sure if that's Byron Buxton or not, but he was able to make the stop. So here comes a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-2. I'm sure that the Minnesota Twin brass wouldn't be very happy with him fielding balls with his bare hands. Every time you watch Byron Buxton play, you're always concerned about his health. So there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's 2-2. Of course, he landed himself on the DL last week. It's really unfortunate. He's a 5-tool player, Buxton, when he's healthy. The challenge is to stay healthy. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count now runs to 3-2 on Jeffers. Hill ready to go back to work. He gets the sign. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and Jeffers wins this battle as he draws himself a base on balls with 1 out here in the fourth, and that will bring up Gilberto Celestino. One would have to think that this might be Hill's last batter here, as it is the 9-hole hitter in the order. I wonder if they're going to roll him over to face the top of the order for a third time. But we're just going to have to wait and see what the decision from the Red Sox brass will be. And here's a breaking ball delivered to Celestino. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Celestino today, he is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up and scored a run on the home run by Polanco. He's raised his season average up to 200. So Hill gets the sign from his catcher, Vasquez. He's ready to deliver. He kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. It's fielded by the second baseman, Arroyo. He steps on the bag. He throws to first. And Hill gets some defensive help. That is a double play to end the inning. It's going to go down as a 4-3 double play. And so again, this time the Twins go in order, but unconventionally. They had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 3.5 innings in Boston. It is the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call at the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's our friend Steve again, Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check out his channel after the game, as he's a supporter of ours, and we like to support him. Here we go.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
We appreciate you, Steve, and we appreciate your support of the channel. Be sure to check out Steve Rademacher and his channel after the game for all the crazy things. He's got Money Monday. He's got Takeover Tuesday. He's got the Saturday morning cartoons and the Sunday shoutouts. He's got something for everybody. That's Steve Rademacher and his channel after the game. Coming up for the Boston Red Sox in their half of the 4th inning, it's going to be Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, and JD Martinez. That's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order. And the first pitch delivered to Devers is outside for a ball 1, and the count is quickly 1-0. For Devers today, he is 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first time up. Bundy ready to go back to work, and now Devers asks for time as he's taken too much time. Sanchez ready to give the signs, and now Bundy delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded down the first base line. Sano dives to his left. He fields the ball. He gets up and he flips it to Bundy covering, and they're going to get Devers by a half a step. A really nice play defensively by Miguel Sano. That's going to go down as a ground out. 3-1 for out number 1 here in the 4th inning. But what a play by the first baseman, Sano. He had the range. He took about 3 steps to his left, and he dove. He was able to stop the ball, and he flips it neatly underhanded to Bundy, covering the bag at first to retire Devers for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. For Bogaerts today, he is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up, and there's a first pitch cutter that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Haven't really seen a whole lot of that today from Bundy. That ball had a lot of movement from right to left. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There is a changeup that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0 to Bogaerts. So 2 balls and no strikes. Bundy, for his part, has been around the zone a lot today. Hasn't been overpowering, but he has been able to induce some soft contact, and there is a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Bogaerts. Bogarts has raised his batting average on the season to .313. And he asks for time and steps out because he wants to slow Dylan Bundy down. Bundy has got himself in a bit of a rhythm. And he is trying to disrupt that, is Bogarts. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2. Sometimes the pitchers start to get into a groove. They start to get into a smooth type of process, and there's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. Bogarts is retired on strikes for the second out of the inning. I was about to say that the pitchers sometimes they get themselves into a groove and they just get themselves into a rhythm on the mound. And for the hitters, they need to be able to disrupt the pitcher and to be able to slow him down, get him out of sequence, not get him in feeling as comfortable. And Bundy does get the ball and he does work quickly. So that brings up JD Martinez, and here comes the pitch. And there's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side, and the count is quickly 0-1. You think of hitters at the plate who sometimes really take their time or they have their own routines. And here comes the 0-1 pitch to Martinez. It's a fastball. This one is swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side as well. And the count now goes to 0-2. Bundy is really in a groove right now. He's been able to get ahead in the count on the hitters. He's able to induce, as we said, some soft contact. And here's the 0-2. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Martinez is gone for out number 3 here in the 4th inning. And again, the Red Sox go quietly. That is 10 in a row now retired by the right-hander Bundy. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 4 complete. It is the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around, everybody. We got morning baseball on the West Coast. It is now afternoon on the East Coast. We got baseball here for you. More to come. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of the 5th inning. It is going to be the top of the order coming up for the Minnesota Twins. That means Jorge Polanco, Carlos Correa, and Gio Urshela. And they are slated to face Rich Hill, but we're looking to see if they are going to make that pitching change, the Red Sox. And it is still going to be Rich Hill. They're going to leave out there for inning number 5. And there's a first pitch delivered to Polanco. It's taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Phillips Valdez has been working in the bullpen. There's a fastball delivered to Polanco. It's taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. A little surprised. I didn't think that Hill would see the order for the 3rd time today, as Polanco is 1 for 2. He does have a homer off of Hill today. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. Polanco struck out his first time up, and he deposited a 2-run shot into the Green Monster in the third inning to double the lead for the Twins. And here comes the 1-2 pitch from Hill. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly over to the left side of the infield. It's fielded by Bogarts. He throws on the run. That is going to retire Polanco on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1 here in the 5th inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Carlos Correa. For Correa today, he is 1 for 1 and a walk. He's been on base twice. He's raised his season average to 161. Of course, in the early going, there's nothing like having a 2 or 3 hit game to raise your batting average 100 points. And here comes the pitch to Hill. From Hill, it's a fastball swung on. It's popped up into shallow right field. Coming in hard is the right fielder, Bradley. First baseman Travis Shaw was going out. He was having a hard time. He was battling the sun. He was looking over his shoulder, and Bradley was able to bail him out. And that is going to retire Correa quickly for the second out of the innings. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Gio Urshela. So Urshela today is 1 for 2. He has flown out to center, and he singled. He's raised his average to 250 on the campaign. So here we go back to the live action as Hill rocks into the motion and he kicks and fires. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Urshela. I wasn't sure that we were going to even see Hill in this inning. And he has made quick work of the first 2 batters. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted into the seats down the right field line. That runs the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Should Urshela reach base, he'll be followed by the right fielder, Kyle Garlick. So Hill ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher. He rocks into the motion, and now time is called as Gio Urshela has stepped out as he feels that Hill has taken too much time. So now he gets back in, and we're ready to go at it again. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is golfed into deep left field. It's going to be off the monster. It's fielded by the left fielder Verdugo, and he fires it back in, and Urshela is going to be held to a long single. And Urshela is aboard with a 2-out knock here in the 5th inning. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Kyle Garlick. It was hit between the Jim Bean sign in left field there and the Red Sox Scholars, but just above the W.B. Mason sign. Nice play by Verdugo. He takes it off a 1 hop off the wall, fired it into second base, and it really had to keep Urshela from advancing into second. And that is going to do it, as Rich Hill is now done for the day. And it'll bring a relief pitcher in. We're going to see Phillips Valdez. As this is going to happen, we are going to take ourselves a break here. There's 2 out here in the 5th inning. You have a pitching change on the way. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll get you all the specs when that happens here in just a few minutes. Hang tight. Thank you for being here. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change coming up here. It is going to be Phillips Valdez entering the ball game. Valdez has found a home in the Boston organization. He originally was signed as a amateur free agent by the Cleveland Indians way back in 2008. He then went to the Rays after he was released by Cleveland. He was released by Tampa, and then he went to the Nationals. He was granted free agency in 2018, and he signed as a free agent with the Rangers. And that was where he made his big league debut in 2019 with Texas. And he was selected off waivers by the Seattle Mariners. He never pitched with the Mariners at the big league level. And then Boston picked him up. Since then, that's where he has found his home. This is his third season with the Red Sox. In 2020, he was very productive in 24 appearances. He was a 500 pitcher, 1-1, all out of the bullpen with a 3.26 ERA. Last year, he struggled a little bit with his ERA was a bit bloated, as it was up around 5.85, and he did win 2 games and lost none. So he is going to be on here. He's not a big fella. He stands in at 6'2", but he's only 160 pounds. So he is not as big as he once was. Hill today, the final stats on him, well, he's responsible for the runner Urshela at first, but he threw 80 pitches, 55 of which were strikes. So he was around the zone, keeping the hitters in off balance. So there comes Kyle Garlick to the plate, and there's a first pitch that is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So Valdez taking over for Hill here. He is just a slender right-hander. He's already appeared in 3 games for the Red Sox this season. He is yet to allow an earned run. He's got 7 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings of work. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Valdez, but instead he throws over to first base. Getting back in time easily is the base runner Urshela. So Garlick today is 1 for 2. He homered in his first trip to the plate. There's a changeup that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1 on Garlick. And check that. We do have a pinch hitter here, as it is Max Kepler now in, and apologies for that. We have a pinch hitter, Kepler, in the ballgame for Garlick. I was going to say it looked a little different than the last one. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-1. So Kepler in, Garlick out. Interesting that is the case. Garlick obviously hit the 2-run homer in the first inning. Flew out, just missed another one by feet in the third inning. Now Kepler in the ballgame here, hitting from the left side against Valdez. He kicks and delivers. It is a changeup swung on. It's grounded foul over on the first base side. That runs the count to 2-2. Max Kepler, familiar with him, he played in the German league for the Regensburg Legionnaire. He signed a international contract. It was an international signing for $400,000 out of the Regensburg Legionnaire. It is definitely a value signing. When you think of that and you think of the money that some of the North American players get, he's basically given the Twins almost a first-round value in terms of a player. Very shrewd signing. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 3-2. He was the second German to make it to the big leagues, or German trained player. The first German trained player was Donald Lutz, who played with the Cincinnati Reds. There goes the runner at 3-2. There's a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called third strike. Kepler shakes his head, and when you look at the replay, you can understand why. But he stood there like the house by the side of the road, watched it go by for out number 3 as Adam Hamari said so. That is going to do it for the Twins in their half of the 5th inning. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for more baseball this afternoon. In just a couple minutes, here is our friend Steve again.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Raps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. Just a couple of programming notes coming up on the channel. Our next 3 games that we're going to cover, we are going to be looking at some more Major League Baseball this week before we jump back into the Japanese League on the weekend. But the 3 games that we have slated, our next one is going to be for Wednesday. We're going to do the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers. That is an afternoon game. And then we are also going to be looking at on Thursday, the New York Yankees visit Comerica Park to take on the Detroit Tigers. Then on Friday, we're going to witness the Pirates again, and they're in Chicago in the Windy City to play the Cubs. So maybe it's Pirate Week on our channel, as we will be seeing Pittsburgh play twice. So here we go back to the live action as Dylan Bundy is still on the bump. He's going to face Verdugo, Arroyo, and Travis Shaw. And the first pitch to Verdugo is a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees. And the count is 0-1. Bundy ready to go back to work again. He kicks and delivers. There's a changeup swung on. This ball is belted into left field. It's in the corner. It's off the wall. Digging for 2 is Verdugo, and he's going to get in there safely. And Verdugo has himself a leadoff double here in the 5th inning, and that breaks the string of consecutive outs by Bundy as he stops that at 10 in a row as he had retired the Red Sox in order pretty much since the 3rd out of the 1st inning. So with Verdugo at second, that brings Christian Arroyo to the plate. Arroyo today is 0 for 1. Verdugo goes and gets the oven mitt so that he can use that for his sliding. Not sure why guys choose to use the oven mitt. The old school way was to take your batting gloves off and put them in your hands, and that would prevent that. There's a fastball delivered to Arroyo. It's swung on. It's grounded past the diving shortstop Correa. It's going to get through the 6-hole into left field. And the Red Sox now have something brewing here in their half of the 5th inning as back-to-back hits. It advances Verdugo over to third. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Travis Shaw. As you know, in Boston, Fenway Park is a bandbox. It is not that big a park, and there's a lot of runs that can be scored in a hurry. So a 4-0 lead in Boston is not insurmountable. It's not like playing in some of the larger parks around the league. A couple of walks, a couple of hits, and that next thing you know, this game is tied. So runners at the corners with nobody out, and that brings up Travis Shaw, who is 0 for 1 today. He struck out looking his first time up. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in on it is the left fielder, Larnach. She makes the grab. Tagging at third is Verdugo, but he's not going anywhere. That wasn't deep enough. That is going to retire. It's going to retire Verdugo, but tagging from first is Arroyo, and he moves into second. Nice play there by Arroyo to be moved up on the fly ball by Shaw. But Shaw is erased for the first out, and that's going to bring up Christian Vasquez. So some heads-up base running by the Red Sox infielder Arroyo to be able to tag. They can't get you both. So if the throw is coming to the plate, they don't want to let that run score, but the runner at first, that's a bit of the home field advantage. The short park here. So that brings up the catcher, Christian Vasquez. He swings at the first pitch. He grounds it to short. Correa fields it. He throws to first, but that is going to cash a run in as Verdugo will score from third as the shortstop Correa was playing deep. So that's a single, or that's a ground out 6-3 and an RBI for Vasquez. He is the second out of the inning now. It holds Arroyo at second, and that'll leave it all up to Jackie Bradley Jr. So the Red Sox have manufactured themselves a run here in their half of the fifth inning. So Jackie Bradley Jr. steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 today. He struck out his first time up. And he swings at a fastball, and the count is quickly 0-1. That's not Jackie Bradley's forte. That was a high fastball. He swung right through. For Bradley on the season, his average has slipped to 208. And here comes the pitch from Bundy. It's a fastball. He swings right through that, and the count now is 0-2. Be interesting to see how Bundy is going to set up Bradley. Does he go soft somewhere before he blows another fastball by him? Because one would think that might be the case. Change the timing of the hitter, but here we go. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and it's foul, tipped into the mid of the catcher. But Sanchez can't hang on, and that is going to keep the count at 0-2. One would have to think that Bundy's going to rear back a little bit and try to go right after Bradley. So no balls and 2 strikes. Bundy gets the sign from his catcher, Sanchez. He kicks and fires. There is a changeup swung on. It's grounded softly to second. It's fielded by Correa, who flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Bradley Jr. Goes as a ground out 6-3 as the shortstop was to the right of second base. That will do it. But the Red Sox get one back here in the fifth inning. They had 1 run in the inning. There was 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 5. It is the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 6th inning in just a couple moments. Here is our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be Gary Sanchez, Trevor Larnach, and Miguel Sano. That's the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order for the Twins to face Phillips Valdez. And the first pitch from Valdez is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Sanchez. For Sanchez, today is 0 for 2. He's grounded to third and popped to short. His average has slipped to 222 on the early campaign here in 2022. And there's a fastball swung on. It is softly lifted over to the first base side of the infield, and making the catch is Travis Shaw as he drifts over into the 4-hole. And that is going to retire Sanchez for the first out of the 6th inning. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Trevor Larnach. For Larnach today, he is 0 for 2. He's flown out to center and he's grounded to second. His average has slipped to 214 on the early going. As we said, the get wild swings in the numbers of the players in the early season. There's nothing like seeing your average jump by 100 points or die by 100 points in the early going here with a 2 for 3 or an 0 for 3 ball game. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Larnach. Valdez works from the stretch with nobody on. He delivers. There's a changeup swung on and fouled off at the feet of the catcher Vasquez, and that's going to even the count at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Larnach. Valdez goes right back to work. They do employ the shift to the Red Sox. They've got 3 fielders to the right side of the infield, and here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded right into the shift. It's fielded by Arroyo, who is playing in the rover position. He flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Larnach on a ground out. 4-3 for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to Miguel Sano. As we've talked about in some of our other streams, you always have to keep an eye on how the players will play their positions. Rafael Devers, when the shift is on with the Red Sox, he will slide over more to the shortstop position, and Bogarts will go to the right of second base. And they play the second baseman Arroyo in shallow right field. So that brings up the first baseman Miguel Sano, and the first pitch to Sano is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Sano. Whereas some teams will leave the shortstop in their natural position, and they will take the third baseman and put them into the rover position in right field. So it really depends on the philosophy of the teams. The Red Sox do it similar to what the Cubs do by leaving their third baseman to the left side of second base. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly to third. Devers fields it. He fires to first. And that is going to be a quick inning here for the Twins in their half of the 6th inning. They go quietly 1-2-3. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are through 5.5. It is the Boston Red Sox trailing the Minnesota Twins 4-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. Here is our friend Dave again. Be sure to check out his channel after the game and let him know Last Drops Baseball sent you.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Fox Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in between innings and going to the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-1 for the Twins. If you like our late night streams and you're into Japanese baseball, or even if you're not, stop in if you've got nothing else to do. Here are some of our Baseball Hall of Fame memories from the Japan Baseball Hall of Fame. We'll be back in just a moment after this with the call at the bottom of the 6th inning. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's a 4-1 lead for the Minnesota Twins. It'll be Enrique Hernandez, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts. That means the top of the Boston batting order to face the right-hander Dylan Bundy. Bundy is having himself a fine ball game today. The hill for the Twins, he has worked 5 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 run today. He's walked none and struck out 5. And here comes the first pitch to Enrique Hernandez. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Bundy has been very efficient today. This is some of the finer work that I've seen from Dylan Bundy. He's thrown 56 pitches, 43 for strikes so far. And there is a breaking ball swung on, and it is tap foul at home plate. I've got the count here now at 0-2. I think the ticker is a little bit behind us. There is action in the Boston bullpen. It is Cutter Crawford getting loose. It looks like he has got some intent to come into the ball game. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. What a name for a pitcher, Cutter Crawford. Speaking of pitchers' names, there was one of the best names that I thought a pitcher could have. Oakland A's had a pitcher named Outman a few years ago. Of course, that would be probably not very good if you were a hitter, and there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-2. But he was probably born to be a pitcher as soon as he had that last name attached to him. So I believe it was Josh Outman was the first name. Of course, the worst name probably ever for a pitcher was former Pittsburgh Pirate Bob Walk, who would want to have a name for Walk as a pitcher. And there's a fastball on the inside corner. The appeal down to first base, and Jerry Lane goes up with the right hand. That is going to retire Hernandez for the first out of the inning here. And he is retired on strikes for out number 1. The pitch was a two-seam fastball that ran in on the hands. Hernandez had checked his swing, but in the opinion of Jerry Lane, he went too far, and I'd have to agree with Jerry Lane. After we witnessed the replay he did offer, he was unable to hold up his swing. That is the first out of the inning. So here comes Rafi Devers to the plate, and he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. There's action in the Twins bullpen. A little surprising as Bundy is only at 63 pitches here with this delivery. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 0-2. I don't know how far they have stretched the right-hander out to this point. That would be something that we'd have to keep an eye on. Of course, some pitchers have not been given the opportunity to go to the distance because of the shortened spring training. There's a fastball that misses outside. And the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Devers. But Bundy has been very efficient in his 5+ innings of work so far today. Here comes the pitch, and it is a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count now goes to 2-2. Of course, Bundy is very familiar with the Boston Red Sox, having pitched in the American League East for many years. He had 20 starts against the Red Sox in his career. There's a changeup that misses outside, and the count goes to 3-2. But he only has collected a 3-9 record lifetime against the Red Sox. So here comes the payoff pitch to Devers. Bundy gets the sign, and he kicks and fires. And there is a changeup swung on. It is belted the other way as Devers beats the shift with a single to left field. And he is aboard for the first time today with that base knock, and that's going to bring up the shortstop Xander Bogaerts. As we said in the last half inning, games here can get away on you quickly. If you are not on top here, that last pitch, I thought it was a changeup, but it was actually a split finger pitch from Bundy that didn't split. It stayed right up in the zone, and Devers did a good piece of hitting to inside out the ball into left field. With that base hit, that's a career best 15-game hitting streak for Devers. That's carried in from last season. So here comes the first pitch to Bogaerts. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Bogaerts. Bogaerts today is 1 for 2. He singled his first time up, and he struck out his second time. We have the hobbyist in the house. He says he's at work, so he's trying to keep it quiet. And here comes a fastball that misses inside. The count is 2-0. There's nothing like baseball on Patriot Day in Boston. The 11 a.m. Eastern start. And here comes the 2-0 offering to Bogaerts. As Bundy holds at the chest. He kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 2-1. There is action in the Twins bullpen. And it is a right-hander, Joe Smith, who is warming up with some ferociousness. One would think that he's going to be coming into the game here at some point, maybe sooner than later. Here comes the 2-1 offering to Bogaerts. Bundy kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is down. It's going to be played off the wall. Larnach takes it on one hop off the wall. He fires into third. There's a play at the base, And Devers slides in safely as he had to go around the bag. And he was able to get in there, and that's going to be a double for Bogarts. But we're going to have to take a look at this one. We'll see it again. We're going to see if they've are going to get him. It was a very interesting play. He overslid the bag on the infield slide. He had to replace his hands. He went off the bag, and the third baseman, Gio Urshela, had to apply the tag. We're going to get a look at this one to see if he did indeed get him. We got him on the hand, so it looks like he may have got him, and then he applies the tag again. So I'm not sure if Bogarts is going to be there or not, but this is probably going to be a replay. The Twins have to be looking at this one. It was an awkward slide by Bogarts, or by Devers. He did get to the base, and he slid past the base. He wasn't able to stay engaged. I think Urshela somewhere in there has applied a tag. So for now, it'll be a double for Bogarts, pending the decision on the play at third base. It's either going to be second and third and 1 out, or runner at second and 2 out. We're going to have to wait here. It looks to me like Urshela ended up getting the knee of the base runner Bogarts. The third base umpire was Hunter Wendelstedt. He came up with the safe sign. He was right there on top of the play. He had a great view of everything. But we can't really tell is Urshela if he actually tagged him or not as he reached. And here we're waiting for the play as it is under review, as we suggested. Adam Hamari and Hunter Wendelstedt are on the mics. The one thing I do like about Major League Baseball this year is they sometimes will give an explanation on what the call was or if it's overturned or not, but we'll wait and see what they decide here. Sometimes the calls are pretty straightforward and fairly easy. And sometimes the calls are not, and this would be one of those calls. As they're on their headsets waiting for the video review. Of course, we don't know what kind of angles that they also get. Jerry Lane is the crew chief. So he is the one dialed in here. The crowd is very boisterous, and it looks like that call is going to stand, and that's going to bring Rocco Baldelli out of the Minnesota dugout. He's going to make his way over to the mound. That looks like it's probably going to be the end of the day for Dylan Bundy. All smiles for the base runner Devers at third. And that will do it for Bundy as his day is over. It's going to be Joe Smith coming in. And we'll be back in just a moment, everybody. We've got a 4-1 Twins lead with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. But the Red Sox have something brewing with runners on second and third. And Bundy's day is over on 71 pitches. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. Glad you guys are with us. Here's our friend Steve again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to check out his channel and for all your entertainment needs. Now entering the fray is Joe Smith. He is a 15-year big league veteran. He has bounced around with a number of teams, but the majority of his career has been spent with the Cleveland organization. This is his 8th team that he is pitching with here with the Minnesota Twins. On the season so far, he's appeared in 3 games. He's pitched 2 1/3 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 4. He is a sidewinder, and he has seemed to get better with age. He's got a career 3.08 ERA, and he's got 653 strikeouts in 737 1/3 innings pitched. And he is taking over on the hill today for Dylan Bundy. Bundy is responsible for the runners at second and third, so his line is not complete yet. Bundy leaves the game throwing 71 pitches, 51 of them for strikes, all around the zone. He is still in line for the win. That, of course, is subject to change, as a lot of things can happen in Boston, as we know. So Bundy's day is done. Smith is in, and we're ready to get this one back underway after Smith has just completed his tune-up tosses. So that brings up J.D. Martinez to the plate. And a tough situation for Smith here. Martinez today is 0 for 2. He flew out to right and struck out his 2 trips, and the first pitch from Smith is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Smith is a sidewinder, very tough on right-handed hitters. He comes down, he's got a low arm angle. So no balls and 1 strike to Martinez. And here's the pitch from Smith that is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1. J.D. Martinez on the season has witnessed his average slip to 235. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the Red Sox designated hitter, and there's a fastball that comes inside on Martinez and backs him off the plate, and the count now goes to 2-1. One wouldn't be surprised that Smith is going to provide a steady diet of breaking balls from here on out to JD. They do have an open base at first base with runners on second and third here, and there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. As the count to 2-2, we have Jimmy Redbeard in the house. He says good afternoon, and it's still morning here on the West Coast. But certainly in Boston, it is now in the afternoon. It is 1 o'clock on Patriots Day, or just about approaching 1 o'clock. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Martinez. Smith delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to Sano at first. They've got Devers now hung up in a rundown. And Sanchez, they've butchered this rundown. Way too many throws. They are able to finally get Devers. But a great play by Sano. Good decision-making to run at them, but it was poorly executed rundown. It's going to go down as a 3-5-2. 3-5 putout. So 3-5-2, 3-5 on the putout. That's going to retire Devers for the second out of the inning. And on that fielder's choice, Martinez goes all the way around to second, and Bogarts goes over to third. It's still going to be second and third, but now with 2 outs. Nice defending by Sano. But as I said, once the ball entered into the rundown, it was completely butchered. And so that is where we stand in this situation. So we've got runners on second and third, and Alex Verdugo stepping up to the plate. For Verdugo, he is 1 for 2 today. He doubled and scored a run, the only Boston run. And now we have the pitching coach coming out to have a couple of words with Smith before he faces the hitter Verdugo. And sometimes that happens. You watch some of these teams at a major league level, far too many throws in the rundown. And when you watch that sort of stuff, it is a challenge when you're trying to talk to young kids about how to do things, and you watch major leaguers make a meal of it. Now, granted, it is early in the season. These are things, of course, with a extended spring training they're going to be able to work on. And that hasn't been something that they've been able to do here yet. So they have made the decision they're going to put Verdugo on base with an intentional walk. That's going to load the bases, and that's slated to bring up Christian Arroyo. So Arroyo will step to the plate to face the right-hander Smith. We'll take a look if that is indeed going to be Arroyo. They are going to let him continue here. Trevor Story got the day off today. He did not get the start, so looking to see if maybe he would come on to pinch hit. And there's a first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is driven to deep center field. Moving back on the warning track is Celestino. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. And the Twins were able to wiggle out of the 6th inning here. The Red Sox, they threaten, but they do not score. There was no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There was no errors and 3 runners left aboard. We are now through 6 complete. It's the Minnesota Twins for the Boston Red Sox 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call of the top of the 7th inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. Here's one of our Did You Knows, and the Did You Know is a player who's not playing in today's game. This is Bobby Dahlbeck. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Minnesota batting order. Ryan Jeffers, Gilberto Celestino, and Jorge Polanco are coming to bat, and we anticipate that there could be a pitching change here for the Red Sox as we're getting our updates, as they did have Cutter Crawford warming up in the bullpen, and that is exactly who is taking over here in replacement of the Dominican right-hander that we watched finish off for the Boston Red Sox. Philip Valdez's day is done. Now we have Cutter Crawford on the mound. Crawford in 3 games this 3 games. He's got a 1-0 record. His ERA is at an eye-popping 11, and there's a first pitch breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1 to Jeffers. That is what happens here in Boston. You can get your ERAs for pitchers can just explode. It's a bit of a deceiving park because it is so small. And so there's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Places that pitchers maybe cringe to pitch in: Wrigley Field, Boston, Colorado. Certainly not pitchers' friendly ballparks. So here comes the 1-1. And Crawford delivers. It is a fastball at 95 that misses low, and the count now goes to 2-1. This is my first opportunity of seeing Crawford pitch, and one thing that stands out to me is how short he is on his takeback. He is a short armor, at least on the angles that I've got. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Runs the count now to 3-1 on Jeffers. So 3 balls and 1 strike. There's action in the Minnesota bullpen as well. You'd anticipate that Joe Smith's day could possibly be done. There's a fastball swung on and missed. It runs the count now to 3-2. So the pitching parade for both of these teams will be in full motion. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Crawford rocks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses low. That is ball 4 to Jeffers, a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Gilberto Celestino. So what we see, it looks like it is John Romero in the bullpen, or is it Johan Duran? I'm not sure which one. Either one. I have to get a number on that for the Twins. And so here comes Celestino to the plate with a runner on first, and somebody on. There's a fastball taken off the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. If I'm Crawford, I'm wondering a little bit here because that last pitch, or the first pitch to Celestino, looked like it was not as good as the pitch on 3-2 to Jeffers. Jeffers drew the walk. It did look like it was a little low, but that first pitch to Celestino looked like it was well off the plate. And there's a breaking ball that buckles the knees of Celestino. He takes it for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Celestino. So here comes Crawford back to work. He delivers the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Celestino is retired on strikes for out number 1 here in the 7th inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Jorge Polanco. For Polanco today, he is 1 for 3 today. He homered his first time up. He's also struck out and grounded out. Jimmy Redbeard says that ramen looked amazing. A little bit of ramen after that ball game last night. It's the fried chicken that does it, or the karaage that makes it the best there, Jimmy. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. For those of you who don't know Jimmy Redbeard, Jimmy's been calling some games a little bit. He's a Cincinnati Red fan. If you get an opportunity, go check out his channel. Thought he did a really good job yesterday in that game. I listened in a little bit. He was doing the game that the Reds were playing. They got beat up in by the Dodgers. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Crawford kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's fouled away over on the third base side of home plate by Polanco. Count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Polanco being in the leadoff spot today for the Twins. He has played shortstop and second base. He's been at the major league level with the Twins since 2014. There is a cutter that is swung on. It is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is Verdugo. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Polanco for the second out of the inning. So Cutter Crawford delivers a cutter that retires Polanco for out number 2. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Carlos Correa. For Correa, he is 1 for 2 today. He's also drawn a walk and scored a run. He's pulled his season average up to 156. He's yet to get everything really going. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As we said, entering today's ball game, a lot of the bats for the Minnesota Twins have been in the freezer. Their bats have been cold. They've got 6 hits today so far. So no balls and 1 strike to Correa. Crawford gets the sign from his catcher Vasquez. He's ready to go back to work. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into right center field. The ball is going to get down. It's fielded by Bradley Jr. He fires it back in. And that is going to send the base runner Jeffers all the way around to third on the base hit by Correa. That's Correa's second knock of the ball game. And that is going to bring up Gio Urshela with 2 outs and the runners on the corners. So the Twins have something brewing here in their half of the 7th. It's a nice crowd at Fenway Park today. It's not a sellout. You do see some empty seats. I shouldn't say it's not a sellout. It's not a full house. Sometimes the paid attendance could be a sellout, but we do see empty seats. Maybe people just aren't there. There's a first pitch fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1 to Urshela. It's not a particularly warm afternoon. It's 50 degrees at game time. The temperature will pick up a little bit. It is Boston Marathon Day, or Marathon Day in Boston. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Urshela. Crawford delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. So one ball and one strike to Urshela. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. It's a 4-1 Minnesota lead. They're threatening for more. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep center field. Moving back onto the warning track is Hernandez. He's going to make a catch, and that is going to retire the side here in the 7th inning. So for the Twins in their half of the 7th, they threatened, but they don't score. They had no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning, it is the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment with the call of the bottom of the 7th inning. We're glad you guys could all be here with us today. Hold tight. Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan. But we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's supposed to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat. That means it's supposed to be Travis Shaw, Christian Vasquez, and Jackie Bradley Jr. We do have a pitching change, and it is going to be a right-hander coming in. This is Johan Duran, 6'5", 230-pound right-hander taking over. This is going to be his 4th game of the season. He's pitched 5 innings. He's got an ERA of 5.4. He's walked 1 and struck out 8. So the big fella takes over on the mound here. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The outside corner by Travis Shaw, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Shaw. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count now quickly goes to 0-2 to Shaw. Shaw today 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a flyout to center field. He is hunting for his first hit of the season. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball at 101 miles an hour that is fouled away. The count is now 1-2. Duran can really bring it up there. So here comes the 0-2 again. He kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the first base side. That runs the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sometimes you watch relievers when they come in and they work from the stretch position. Not so with Duran. He comes in and there's a fastball at 100 miles an hour. And Shaw stands there like the house by the side of the road and watches it go by for out number 1 here in the 7th inning. Boy, oh boy, that pitch got up in a big-time hurry. That was a good spot. Right belt high, inside corner of the plate. I don't think Sean was looking in that location for that pitch, but 100-mile-an-hour punch out. Duran has taken care of Shaw for out number 1. That is going to bring up the catcher Christian Vasquez, and the first pitch delivered to him is a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. I gotta say, this Duran is the first time I've seen him, and he's got some stuff. Not only does he have fastball, he's got some bite on his breaking stuff. And there's a fastball delivered. This ball is golfed to left field. It's going to be deep, and it is gone. A home run by Vasquez. He absolutely gets out his 9-iron and cranks that one right into the seats. That's the first home of the run of the year for Christian Vasquez, and he's cut the lead now to 4-2. This game is far from over in Boston. A 4-2 lead now certainly is never safe at any time, a 2-run lead. For that matter, a 3-run lead. But Vasquez has now cut the lead in half with that home run into the Green Monster, or over the Green Monster. I have to say that one, though, had to be a wall scraper. That one did not get clear by much. And there is a fastball at 101 miles an hour that misses down and in to Jackie Bradley Jr., and the count is 1-0. So Jackie Bradley Jr., who steps to the plate, is 0 for 2 today. He's struck out and he's grounded to short. And here comes a pitch from Duran. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So Duran ready to go back to work. And he kicks and fires. There is a fastball again at 101. And again, that pitch is fouled away on the third base side. And the count is 1-2. Almost unfair. Jackie Bradley Jr. struggled with the Dylan Bundy fastball, and now he's getting something that's coming up at 10 miles an hour faster. But he is hanging in and battling. So here comes the 1-2 pitch to JBJ. And the pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted to deep left field. If it stays fair, it is going to be trouble, but it's going to slice just to the left of the foul pole as it is into the top deck at Fenway Park. There's going to be a souvenir for a gentleman, and he flips it to a young fan a couple of rows back. A very nice job there by that fan. But that ball is absolutely scorched as JBJ went the other way, and there's a fastball delivered that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jackie Bradley Jr. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, with Christian Vasquez providing the second run of the game. There is a breaking ball down. The appeal over to the third base umpire, but Hunter Wendelstedt said he didn't go. And that is going to run the count now full to Jackie Bradley Jr. Well, there's a lot of good stuff in this pitcher Duran for the Minnesota Twins. But what we're seeing here is just a lack of command. We got Baseball Boy 501 in the house. He says, "Go Sox." There is a fastball down. And in our books, that would have been ball 4. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's take a look at that one there. So we have 3-2 on our books. The scoreboard has 3-2 there, but Jackie Bradley Jr. is standing in for another pitch. So here comes the 3-2. And now they ask for time. Now they're going to reset and do this all over again. I'd like to go back and take a look at that. Baseball Boy says he just subscribed to the channel. We appreciate that. And here comes Alex Cora out, because I've got 3-2. He's coming out to talk to the home plate umpire to see what he's got. This has to be the discussion. So I've got 3 balls and 2 strikes. The scoreboard's got 3 balls and 2 strikes, but Jackie Bradley Jr. is still standing at the plate. So this is bizarre. So Alex Cora needs an explanation of what's going on here. Now Adam Hamari is going over to the Minnesota Twin dugout, they've lost the track of the balls and strikes. Something that's very interesting here is that they have been in a situation where it's some of that stuff where if you lose balls and strikes, generally speaking, you lose a game's pay. But Jackie Bradley Jr. is still at the plate, and now he swings at a breaking ball, and it's grounded foul just to the right of first base. And that is going to keep the count still at 3-2. So here we go back to the live action again. So it's like in football, if referees lose a down, you lose your game pay. Well, we're going to have to take a look at this one after the inning. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and now it's ball 4, or in my books, ball 5, to Jackie Bradley Jr., and he is aboard the base on ball, and that's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Twins dugout. So that's pretty crazy stuff here. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that, but I'm pretty confident that the home plate umpire has lost the balls and the strikes. So the runner at first is Jackie Bradley Jr. There's one away here in the 7th inning. Christian Vasquez has the home run that has cut the Twins' lead in half to 4-2. But I want to go back and look at the pitch sequence there because they have that in the inning. Our friend Baseball Boy says he's so confused. I'm confused too. You have to go back and look at the pitch-by-pitch scenario there. And to see where that was at. So it looked like the first 4 pitches were strikes. Apparently, the first pitch was a called strike. That's how they have it on these sequences, but certainly we were confused as well. There is action in the Twins bullpen. Danny Colome is up and throwing. But now with the runner on first, it's Kiki Hernandez stepping up to the plate. And here comes the first pitch from Duran. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Hernandez. Leaning in and getting the sign from this catcher Sanchez. Duran ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes even to 1-1. Duran now working quickly. The runner, Jackie Bradley Jr. at first. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and fires. There is a cutter taken for a called strike, and now the count goes to 1-2 on Hernandez. So a little bit of tempo and pace here from the right-hander Duran. Here he goes back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's another cutter taken for a called third strike. And Hernandez stands there like the house by the side of the road. He watches it go by. It's the 3rd time today he has been retired via the strikeout. And that is going to leave it all up to Rafael Devers. So Hernandez has gone for out number 2, and Devers now strides to the plate. Devers today is 1 for 3. He singled his last time up. He's grounded out twice. And the first pitch delivered to Devers is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Last pitch from Duran is 100 miles an hour. As we said, he's really bringing it up to the plate. I haven't done the count. That was the 20th pitch of the inning, but I would say probably 7 pitches. There have been 100 plus or more. We did see 101 from him as well. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away to the first base side of home plate, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Devers in the last inning did a pretty good job of avoiding the tag going into third base. He had to swim around the tag of Gio Urshela, but he couldn't avoid the rundown as he was caught in a rundown for the second out of the inning. And so here comes the pitch from Duran. And it is a fastball swung on and missed. And Devers is gone on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Red Sox, They get one run back in the inning. There was one hit, there were no errors, and one runner left aboard. Duran strikes out the side, but he serves up a home run on the in-between. It is now the Minnesota Twins 4, the Boston Red Sox 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 8th inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys are with us. Hang tight. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 8th inning. It is going to be the heart of the Minnesota batting order coming up for the Twins. That means it's going to be Max Kepler, Gary Sanchez, and Trevor Larnach to face the right-hander Cutter Crawford, who's on for his second inning of work. There's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Kepler. Kepler came on in the 5th inning to pinch hit for Kyle Garlick, and he's remained in the game. He struck out looking his first time up. There's a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kepler. Kepler batting from the left side, facing the right-hander Crawford, and Crawford delivers a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Crawford threw 17 pitches in his first inning of work in the 7th, and there's a fastball delivered at 95 that misses low, and that's ball 4. Christian Vasquez drops to his knees and is having a conversation with the home plate umpire. He can't believe it is ball 4. Cutter Crawford is looking around in disbelief. That pitch was a pretty good pitch, but I have to admit, I really don't like the way that Vasquez received the ball. He caught it, and he just yanks it right up into the zone. As he yanked it up into the zone, he was able to almost take a strike away from his own pitcher, just on the way that he received it, in my opinion. So that puts Kepler at first base. That brings up the catcher, Gary Sanchez. Sanchez is 0 for 3 today. And here comes the first pitch from Crawford. It is a cutter that catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Sanchez. There is action in the Minnesota bullpen as former Padre Emilio Pagan is getting loose. And so here comes the 0-1 pitch from right-hander Crawford. It is a changeup that misses inside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Sanchez. Kepler is the runner at first base as he drew a leadoff walk here in the 8th inning. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball at 94 that backs Sanchez off of the plate. It's taken for a ball, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Crawford gets the sign from his catcher Vasquez. He's ready to go back to work. He holds at the belt. He kicks and fires. It is a cutter that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 3-1. Some of the pitches that have been delivered here are definitely been pretty tight. You kind of feel for Crawford a little bit. It's almost like he's getting squeezed here on his home park. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch to Sanchez, who takes a fastball down for ball 4. And back-to-back walks here in the 8th inning have 2 runners aboard. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Trevor Larnach. And as that happens, that's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Boston dugout, as they're coming out to have a word with his right-hander. But you have to say that the pitches that Crawford has delivered have been pretty tight here in the 8th inning, not getting calls from the home plate umpire. The pitching coach is David Bush, former big league pitcher. He was with the Toronto Blue Jays and also the Milwaukee Brewers. That's where I remember him the most, as he is out on the mound talking to the right-handed reliever Crawford. Crawford, who recently turned 26 years old, is getting the opportunity here on the hill in a difficult situation. They're leaving him in the ball game. And he is going to be facing Larnach here with 2 on and nobody out. And as David Bush is coming off the mound, he had a few words with Adam Hamari. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. It's the interesting part. Major League Baseball, the home plate umpire goes and breaks up the conference on the mound. If you're in Europe, it's the base umpire that will come out and break up the conference. There was a fastball that was taken for a called strike. And certainly in Japan, it's done a little differently. The manager will just come out to the home plate umpire, and the pitching coach will make the pitching change. So every part of the world, things are done a little bit differently. So here comes the 1-1 pitch to Larnach. And Crawford delivers a cutter that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. Phil Cantillon says, "Come on, Twins, let's go get it on Patriots Day." Well, this game is definitely not over yet, certainly with the short confines of Boston. That 4-2 lead could evaporate in a big hurry. And here comes the pitch. It is a changeup that is swung on and missed. Larnach is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Pitch was outside and off of the plate, and he went fishing, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Miguel Sano. When you think of somebody who could get the game even back up, Sano has the ability to do it. He could, with one swing of the bat, could really extend the lead here. But on the season so far, Sano has really struggled. He's batting .069. He's 0 for 3 in today's action. He's got a fly out to right, a fly out to center. He is grounded to third. So Sano steps in, waiting on the first pitch from Crawford, and there is a changeup swung on. It is lifted into deep left center field. On the warning track is Verdugo. Hernandez comes in. They almost collide. Verdugo makes the throw. He fires it into third. But tagging and advancing is Max Kepler. He is in there, and they're having some discussions out in left center field. Are Hernandez and Verdugo. Probably would have been better for Hernandez to have been able to make the catch, because the momentum for him would have been taking him in the direction toward the base. But because of the confusion and Verdugo makes the catch, Kepler tags and is able to advance to third on the fly ball out by Sano, and that is the second out of the inning. So some confusion in left center field, and Verdugo and Hernandez are still talking to one another at distance. So there's 2 away here in the 8th inning, and that leaves it all up to the designated hitter, Ryan Jeffers. There is yet another conference on the hill as the infielders are out having conversation with their young right-hander. They got to figure out the first and third situation, how they're going to handle it in case Base runner Gary Sanchez decides to take off to second base. So 4-2 is the scoreline here in the 8th. The Twins are threatening. But we're going to have a pinch hitter for Jeffers. This is going to be Luis Arraez as he is entering into the ball game. So Arraez in to pinch hit for Jeffers. Arraez on the season is batting .296. And here comes the first pitch from Crawford. It is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. So Jimmy says, would it be cool to drop my link? Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy. You're welcome to do that. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. And there's a pitch that has actually hit it looks like it may have hit the batter here. We're going to have to see what happens. We've got some confusion here as Gary Sanchez has gone all the way around to third. So here's what's happened. It looks like with runners on the corners, the pitch to Arraez has come in, and it looks like it has hit Arraez. The ball has gotten all the way to the backstop. The base runner Sanchez has gone all the way around to third. We're going to get a look at the replay, but here, as we get the replay, it looks like it has not hit the batter, but that's going to put the runner back at second base, and I don't know why. The runner at first, there's no runner at first, so I don't understand why Sanchez is now back at second base, but the wild pitch will score the wild pitch is going to score Max Kepler. That's going to extend the lead to 5-2. And Sanchez goes over to second, and now the Red Sox are just going to put Arraez on to set up the force. So some crazy things going on in this afternoon's Patriot game. So Kepler is in to score. Sanchez is at second. The intentional walk or the free pass has been finalized to Arraez, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter Gilberto Celestino. So here comes the pitch from Crawford. It is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Celestino. Celestino today is 1 for 3. He's singled, he's grounded into a double play, and he's struck out. But I don't understand why Sanchez was put back at second base. And that ball got all the way to the backstop. There is a fastball that swung on and fouled away by Celestino, and the count is 0-2. So some weird things happening in this inning. I'm sure the Red Sox weren't going to argue that, as they may feel a bit slighted that they've been on the short end of the stick here with the balls and strikes calls. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher Vasquez, who keeps it in front. That keeps the count at 1-2. So you have certain situations in the game where things can start to go awry, and we've seen some interesting things here in the last couple innings. Looks like they had lost the count, as we had a different count than and we had the count also what the scoreboard had. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away. Counts now 2-2 to Celestino. So not only do we have a ball 4 to Jackie Bradley Jr. in that last inning, so too did the Red Sox management. You can't always rely on the scoreboard or the scoreboard operators, but certainly the balls and strikes from the home plate umpire, we were a little confused. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. Keeps the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'd like to see what the post-game comments on that would be. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Celestino. The runner at second is Sanchez. The runner at first is Arraez. And Crawford ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. He gets the sign from his catcher Vasquez. He's ready to go back to work. As he does that, Celestino has asked for time and steps out because he feels that Crawford is taking too much time. So here we go back to work. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Holding the ball at the belt is the right-hander Crawford. He fires and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 3-2 to Celestino. So the Twins have extended their lead here to 5-2. As we said, no lead is safe in Fenway. You've got to be able to keep adding on, and they've got an opportunity to do so here. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Runners will be on the move as Crawford delivers to the plate. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Some crazy happenings in Boston, that's for sure in this one. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Celestino. Runners again will be on the move with 2 away. And here comes the pitch from Crawford. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball, and again that is swung on and fouled away. Again, it keeps the count at 3-2. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Celestino is going to see. Fastballs, cutters, curveballs, changeups. He's used his whole arsenal. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Crawford holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's again a cutter swung on and fouled away. Again, it keeps the count at 3-2. So who's going to win the battle? This is going to be pitch number 10 coming up. So here comes the 3-2 pitch now. Crawford ready to go back to work. Again, the runners are going to be in motion as the pitch is delivered to the plate. And now again asking for time is Celestino. As he steps out, and now Crawford's going to have to reset himself to go back at it again. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Holding at the belt is Crawford. He kicks and he fires. It is a cutter that misses outside. And that is going to be ball 4 as Celestino wins the at-bat. And you got to think that the home plate umpire, Adam Hamari, is going to hear a little bit from the dugout. That pitch was definitely outside, though, but really too close to take in that situation. And the Boston faithful, they're up in arms. You can see that the fans behind home plate were looking for the called 3rd strike. That certainly hasn't happened. So Crawford, they're leaving him in there to face Jorge Polanco. Polanco today is 1 for 4. He's homered. He's also struck out, grounded out, and flown out. He has 1 for 4 on the afternoon. He's pulled his average up to 206. So here we go back to the live action. As Crawford facing Polanco with the bases loaded. And he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Phil Cantillon is giving the thumbs up for the Twins. This is the day he wants to get on a win streak. Maybe it was he said God, and I was wondering what he says, go. Well, maybe it's a Freudian slip there, Phil. So here comes the 1-0 pitch, and it is a changeup swung on. It is belted into the seats, and it's going to skip through a bunch of fans' hands, make its way up deeper into the fan section, and that's going to run the count now to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Twins will be very dangerous if they can get their bats going, if they get some decent pitching. They need to have, that's been the question mark for the Twins. It's been the arms, and it looks like they've got some nice pieces in place if they can stay off the DL. There's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is 2-1. When I think of the guys on the DL, Kenta Maeda, Sonny Gray, also Randy Dobnak is also on the DL. We do have a right-hander up in the Boston bullpen. It is the Japanese right-hander Sawamura, who's getting loose, the former Yomiuri Giant. And now asking for time is Christian Vasquez, as he's shaking his head as Crawford has to step off the rubber. They've got to get themselves on the same page here. So here comes the 2-1 pitch to Jorge Polanco. Coming set at the belt is Crawford. He kicks and fires. There's a changeup that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Polanco. The bases are full of Twins. There's nowhere to put Polanco. He's got to give him something good to hit here. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Crawford. It's a 5-2 ball game here in the top of the 8th, and the Twins are looking to blow this one apart. And here comes the pitch. It is a cutter that is swung on and fouled away. That now runs the count to 3-2 to Polanco. Well, with the bases loaded here and 3-2, the runners are going to be on the move. Polanco is now, and Crawford is now going to get the visit from the catcher Vasquez. Gives him a pat on the backside. He's got a few words for him, and here comes the 3-2 offering to Jorge Polanco. Crawford leans in. He gets his sign from his catcher. And Polanco is dug in here, ready to face the right-hander. The crowd in Boston is on their feet. They're looking for their right-hander to finish off the hitter here. Here's the pitch. It is a cutter swung on it. It's grounded through the 4-hole into right field. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And that is a single and a 2 RBIs driven in by Jorge Polanco, and that is going to extend the Twins' lead to 7-2 here in the 8th inning, and that might be a little too far for the Red Sox to claw back. Gary Sanchez scores, as does Luis Arias. That is going to run the score now to 7-2. Clutch piece of hitting by Polanco, who is a over 300 career hitter with the bases loaded. He's now driven in 4 of the 7 runs in the ball game, and that is going to be it for Cutter Crawford. They are going to the bullpen. We're going to see the Japanese right-hander Sawamura making his way in. And with that, we're just going to take a moment here, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. I appreciate you guys are with us. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know if you guys are having any challenges or issues hearing any of our comments. We have we've had some internet issues recently, but I think we're all in good shape. But let us know if you guys are losing the signal a little bit. It seems to be fading in and out. We do have some weather, being some wind that could be doing some stuff, but that is at the end of the day for the right-hander Cutter Crawford. We do have a pitching change, as it is going to be the right-hander coming in, Sawamura. He is the Japanese right-hander. So Hirokazu Sawamura, the former Yomiuri Giant, now taking over. He is coming in a rough spot, as he's going to have to face Carlos Correa with 2 out here in the 8th inning. There are runners on the corners. Polanco is the runner at first. Celestino went all the way around to third. On the base hit by Polanco, and Sawamura is now in the ballgame looking to get the final out here in the 8th. So Correa comes to the bat with 2 away. Carlos Correa today is 2 for 3. He's singled twice. He's also walked He is flown out to right field. He is 2 for 3 on the morning/afternoon ball game. So here we are back to the live action. The first pitch from Sawamura is a breaking ball taken for a called strike by Correa, and the count is 0-1. So Sawamura is appearing in his 4th game. He's got an ERA of 4.91. He's pitched in 3 2/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, a couple of walks, and struck out 1. So Sawamura in the ball game. Kind of makes you wonder a little bit how they've used the pitching staff today. There is a fastball that's down in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher. That's going to get another run in. That'll be a wild pitch. Advancing to second is Polanco. And the wheels have completely fallen off the apple cart here in the 8th inning for the Boston Red Sox. And that has now extended the lead to 8-2 for the Twins. Christian Vasquez had to retrieve the ball over on the first base side of home plate. That will definitely be a wild pitch. And Polanco goes over to second. So now we have a runner at second with 2 away. Sawamura checks the runner at second. He holds set at the belt and he kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball swung on. It's fouled over on the first base side. It's going to run the count now to 0-2 to Carlos Correa. With Correa's 2 hits today, he has pulled his average up to 182. As we said, the Minnesota Twins have some bats in the batting order. They've got 10 hits this afternoon. Finally been able to get their offense on track. So here comes the pitch from Sawamura. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2 to Correa. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sawamura checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Polanco, the runner at second. There's 2 away here with a 2-2 count on Carlos Correa. The Twins have scored 4 runs here in their half of the 8th inning to double their run total. They now lead at 8-2 over the Red Sox. But again, it is Fenway Park. There's always opportunity to score a lot of runs in a hurry. So here's the pitch from Sawamura. It's a fastball swung on, and it is grounded foul down the third base line. And the count remains at 2-2. We did have a pretty good crowd in here today, but as the game has started to spread out a little bit, some of those who have been with us have started to leave. Can understand why. It's now a 6-run spread. The Red Sox are going to need a touchdown to get back into this one. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Sawamura gets the sign from his catcher Vasquez. There is a breaking ball swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats into the upper deck down the left field line. That is going to keep the count still at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sawamura was a nice addition to the Red Sox bullpen last year. This is his 2nd year in the major leagues. He's decided to go with a little bit of a long hair. He's got his ponytail done in a bun on the backside, a little different look from the right-hander. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Correa on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. But the damage has been done here by the Twins in their half of the 8th. They scored 4 runs in the inning on only 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 7.5. It is the Minnesota Twins 8, the Boston Red Sox 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call, the bottom of the 8th inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be with us. Hang tight. Here's our friend Matt again.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's another Hollis build. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. We'll be back in just a moment. All of the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 8-2 for the Twins on Patriot Day in Boston. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Red Sox batting order coming up to hit for the Red Sox. It's Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, and Alex Verdugo. The Red Sox are running out of time, and certainly that 4-run 8th inning certainly had not helped. And it is Bogaerts, Martinez, and Verdugo. We do have change on the hill for the Minnesota Twins, and we'll get you that update in just a second. It is going to be it's going to be Griffin Jax into the ball game, and he is taking over here, a right-hander. So he is going to be the 4th pitcher used today by the Minnesota Twins. So Jax into the ball game. Bundy started, Joe Smith relieved, Yohan Duran followed next, and then now it's Griffin Jax. And he is ready to get going. The slender right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Xander Bogaerts. So our first look at Griffin Jax on the season. It's a 6-run Minnesota lead, and asking for time is Bogaerts as he gets to reset himself before we get this one back underway. So Jax kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it, slowly grounded to short. It's fielded by Correa. He flips it to first, and that goes as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, JD Martinez. For Martinez, today he is 0 for 3. He's flown to right, he's struck out, and he's bounced into a fielder's choice. Martinez is off to a slow start. His average has dipped to 229. But JD Martinez is a veteran hitter, and he'll be able to eventually adjust. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. I really like JD Martinez. When he was released by the Houston Astros, he was a little bit choked that he got released. He had went down to one of the winter leagues, I think it was the Venezuelan Winter League, and he had redefined his swing. He really had worked on his swing. One of the things that Martinez had spent time on, there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into right field. And if it stays fair, it'll be a home run, but it is just going to go to the right of the pesky pole, and it's going to reach the seats for a long strike. Martinez said when he was examining his swing and looking at other swings, the big thing that stuck for him is the ability of players like Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, Ryan Braun, those 3 in particular, of how they were able to extend through the zone, really to be able to have good extension, to stay longer in the contact zone. And so he ended up getting released by Houston. And Detroit snapped him up pretty quickly. He went down to AAA Toledo, and he started off on a tear with the Mud Hens. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. They appeal down to Jerry Lane, and they say he didn't go for a 2-1 count. And he was quickly called up by the Detroit Tigers, and he went on an absolute tear in Detroit. And he's never seen the minor leagues since, except on rehab assignments. So here comes the 2-1 pitch to Jax. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to first base, and this time Jerry Lane says he did go. Runs the count now to 2-2. Now it's been the big thing for JD Martinez, is he said to be able to stay in the contact zone a lot longer. That allowed him to be able to put more bat to the ball and to stay on plane with the pitch or stay in line with the pitch. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul behind home plate. So that was fascinating to listen to, that adjustment that made it click for him. He also, you could see from his older days when he was in the minor leagues, just the position of his hands and where he started. It was a lot different than his younger years. He used to be very, very narrow and would stride into the pitch. And here comes the 2-2, and there's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into shallow right center field. Moving back on it is Polanco. He throws his hands up. He can't see it. The ball is now fielded by Kepler, but the ball is going to bleed down, and it is going to be a base hit single for Martinez. Tough guy there as Jorge Polanco raced back, and then all of a sudden he threw his hands up because he couldn't see it. Kepler had come in to field it. And Martinez is aboard with a single here with 1 out in the 8th inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Alex Verdugo. When we talk about weird plays, it was in the last inning where there was some confusion between him and Kiki Hernandez, where he had caught the ball in left field, and the ball was taking him away from the throw where he would have had to make the third base, whereas Hernandez was coming, probably would have caught the ball and been able to have his momentum behind him to throw the ball. They almost collided. And then Verdugo threw the ball wildly into third, which allowed the runner to advance, which happened to be Max Kepler. And there's a breaking ball from Jax that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So the Red Sox defense, there was some confusion there. As we said earlier in the game, there has been some shoddy play by both teams, the Minnesota Twins failing to execute their rundown. And one would have to wonder if the shortened spring training didn't allow for teams to work on certain things. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses up, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Jax checks the runner at first, and he's ready to go back to work to Verdugo. Verdugo today at the plate is 1 for 2. He drew an intentional walk his other at bat. He did score a run. He takes a fastball for a called strike. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Verdugo. So Jack's ready to go back to work, and he kicks and fires. This ball is swung on. It is lined to left field. This ball is going to get off the wall. The ball is fielded by Larnach on one hop, and he fires it back in, and it's going to have to hold JD Martinez at second base. He's unable to go all the way around to third, and Verdugo, who makes the big turn, has to hold on the brakes with a single. And so he is aboard, and the Red Sox have something brewing here in their half of the 8th inning. There's 2 on and 1 out, and that is going to bring up Christian Arroyo to the plate. And here's the first pitch from Jax. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Well, if you're Cutter Crawford, you're probably sitting in the dugout wondering, come on, I'm not getting those calls. That pitch there looked like it was a good 3 or 4 inches off the plate. Could have ended that last inning a little bit sooner, but here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball down in the dirt. A nice block by the catcher Sanchez to keep it in front. The count is now 1-1. Gary Sanchez is often maligned for his defensive play, but you have to tip your hat to him there. He made a really nice block keep that ball from squirting too far away. And the count now is 1-1 to Arroyo. And here comes the pitch from Jax. It's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Now the count goes to 1-2. So 1-2. Arroyo is looking for his second hit of the day. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 5th inning. He's also popped out and flown out. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal down to Jerry Lane over at first base, but he confirms that Arroyo didn't go. It's going to run the count now to 2-2. So 2-2. And here comes the pitch from Jax. Again, a breaking ball that misses down and away. That runs the count to 3-2. So with a 6-run lead here at Fenway, Jax certainly doesn't want to walk this hitter to load the bases. There's trouble brewing here in the Fens. And the crowd is on their feet. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Arroyo. Jax leans in, gets the sign from his catcher. He holds at the belt. And he kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Arroyo would have swung at ball 4 as he couldn't hold up. And he is going to be retired for out number 2. That was a situation right there. If he holds up, that's bases loaded. The Twins are scrambling. Now it is going to bring up Travis Shaw, or scheduled to bring up Travis Shaw. With 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Shaw today is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice looking, and he's flown to left field. The first pitch is a changeup that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1-0. If the Red Sox can even claw a couple of runs back, it makes it a lot easier deficit. But to go into the 9th inning down by 6, it would take almost a miracle to be able to come back. And there's a changeup swung on. It's grounded over to the first baseman, Sano, but he fields it in foul territory. That's going to even the count now at 1-1. So 1-1. Jax is up to 20 pitches here in his lone inning of work so far. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. He kicks and fires. It is a changeup swung on and missed. Makes the count now 1-2 to Travis Shaw. Shaw is still hunting for his first hit of the 2022 campaign. He is hitless so far in 6 trips to the plate. So here comes the 2-2. It is a changeup that is waved at and missed, and Shaw is down on strikes for out number 3 here in the 8th inning. The Red Sox, they threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 8 complete innings. It is the Minnesota Twins 8, the Boston Red Sox 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. The call of the 9th inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. Here is our friend, Steve Rademacher, friend of our channels. Check him out.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers, and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve. We'll be back in just a moment with the call of the top of the ninth inning. It is now 8-2 for the Minnesota Twins. Stick with us, everybody. We'll be right back after these tunes.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We are ready here to begin the top of the ninth inning, and it is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Minnesota Twins. That means Gio Urshela, Max Kepler, and Gary Sanchez to face the right-hander Sawamura, who delivers a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Urshela. For Urshela today, he is 2 for 4. He's got a couple of singles. He takes a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. He's got 2 singles, and he's also flown out to center field twice. So no balls and 2 strikes, and here comes the 0-2 pitch from Sawamura. He holds at the belt, and he kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Urshela just throws the bat out at it and flicks the ball through the 4-hole. It is a base hit single to lead off the ninth inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Max Kepler. For Kepler, he is 0 for 1. He entered the game back in the 5th inning. He struck out looking in his first at-bat, and he walked and scored a run in the last inning. He's officially 0 for 1 today. So Kepler came in for the starter, Kyle Garlick. Kepler on the season was 5 for 30 entering the ball. Today he's now 5 for 31. He's batting 161. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. Another one of the Minnesota Twin regulars who has struggled. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As we said, there were a lot of ugly-looking batting averages in the lineup, although what Gio Urshela has done today is going to help his cause, as has Carlos Correa, but his is still looking kind of ugly as it's below the Mendoza line. There's a fastball that misses, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Kepler. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sawamura on the hill. The runner at first is Urshela, and there's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Kepler digs back in. He's ready to go back to work. The German-born and trained right fielder for the Twins, waiting on the offering from Sawamura. And he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to the second baseman, who has to hurry. Actually, it was grounded to the shortstop Bogarts, who was to the right of second base. He bobbled the ball. It was probably going to be a double play. But as he bobbled the ball, he had to scramble to field it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Kepler. The ball handcuffed him. He's still able to make the play, but it's going to advance Urshela over to second. It goes as a ground out 4-3 for out number 1. It's going to advance Urshela into scoring position, and now it's going to bring up the catcher, Gary Sanchez. We watch it again. That ball was absolutely scorched. It was a tough play there by Bogarts. It handcuffed him as he tried to field it backhand. And then he fielded it. He did a full 360 to throw to first to retire Kepler for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Gary Sanchez. Our undrafted player says Max Kepler is the current best European in the MLB. He is a German guy. Of course he is. Got a chance to see him firsthand when I was managing over in Europe a number of years ago when he was playing for the Regensburg Legionnaire. He was one of their young players at the time. I had to go back and look to see, but I believe he had 2 hits and 6 trips to the plate against us. In the 2 games that I managed against Regensburg, it was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Sanchez. Sanchez is 0 for 3 today. He has also walked and scored a run. So the runner at second base is Urshela. At the time, Regensburg was being run by a fellow named Martin Helbig, who was considered to be the best German-trained player. He was also the national team coach for a while, Martin Helbig. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Sawamura really wanted that pitch. You can see why, because it looked like it may have caught the outside corner. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sawamura gets ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher, and here we go. He checking the runner at second base, and here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It has popped up on the right side of the infield. Travis Shaw drifting over in foul territory. He's got room. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Sanchez on a pop out to first base for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Trevor Larnach. Max Kepler is probably the best European player currently playing, although there have been a run of Dutch players in the big leagues. But in some ways, even though they represent the Dutch, they are usually from Curacao. When you think of Xander Bogaerts, he would be in that classification. You think of Kenley Jansen, the longtime closer for the Dodgers, now with the Atlanta Braves. Some of those players are now considered to be or at least considered to be Dutch players, even though that they may have come from the islands. But German-born player, it's hard to argue anybody else, or European-born player, hard to argue anybody else right now other than Kepler. There's a first pitch breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Larnach. Larnach today is 0 for 4. He's flown out. He's grounded out twice, and he is struck out. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Sawamura delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. It's a 6-run lead here in the top of the 9th inning. Sawamura looking to seal the deal here so that the Red Sox can maybe have a chance in their final at-bats. It's going to be a tough uphill to climb, down by 6th. The crowd in Boston, who is usually a pretty hardy crowd, has started to thin out a bit. There's the 1-1. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. There's a lot of expected of Trevor Larnach, just as there is of Alex Kirilloff. As we said, the Twins are not a healthy ball club right now. They are missing a lot of players. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Sawamura gets his sign from his catcher, Vasquez. He's ready to go back to work. And he kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses upstairs at 95. That's probably the fastest pitch we've seen Sawamura bring up to the plate today. That evens the count now at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sawamura gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. The old set at the belt. He checks the runner at second. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left field. moving over and having room is Alex Verdugo. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it for the Twins in their half of the ninth inning. There was no runs. There was one hit. No errors and one runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the ninth inning. It is the Boston Red Sox trailing the Minnesota Twins 8-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. We're glad you guys are with us.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. It is 8-2 ball game, and we are moving to the bottom of the ninth inning. Our friend undrafted player has accurately pointed out that Xander Bogaerts was born in Aruba, and that is correct. And that is a Dutch colony. And so Bogaerts is the sixth player that has been born in Aruba. The others, and more recently, there's only one other active player, and we say active because he's been up and down with the San Francisco Giants. That's Chadwick Trump. He's also Aruba born. Probably arguably the biggest name would have been Sidney Ponson, who pitched with the Orioles, as well as Gene Kingsale. He had a decent time in the big leagues for a short time. But you have to go back a number of years ago for Radames Dickoff and Calvin Maduro, who also played or were born in Aruba. But those players are long ago. And so here we go, ready to get things back going again. As the pitcher, Griffin Jacks, is back on for his second inning of work, and he delivers a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Christian Vasquez. So no balls and one strike to Vasquez. Jacks on the hill for his second inning of work. It's a 6-run lead here for the Twins. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. That count is 0-2. So Aruba also, as we said before, Curacao, another location for players that are of the Dutch background that is very popular. Of course, one of the popular things in the Netherlands is the Haarlem Honkbal Week, the Honkbal Klasse, which is popular and well attended every year, the big baseball tournament held in the Netherlands. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball down. The appeal down to third base. And Jerry Lane apparently does not want to go home early today, as he says that Vasquez did not go. That's going to make the count now at 1-2. So the Netherlands benefit at the international level from the Caribbean players with the Dutch colonies. That's for sure. But when you think about purely trained European players currently in the big leagues, can't think of too many others right now. Usually you see arms. I think of the right-hander that was recently from Lithuania with the Pirates. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. Daviditos, can't remember his last name. It was one of the Lithuanian, as I say, right-hander. He was a big fella. He was about 6'3", 6'4". So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch from Griffin Jacks. He stares in and gets the sign from his catcher ready to deliver. He holds at the belt and he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count now runs to 3-2 on Christian Vasquez. Just as a reminder, after the game, we'll do a quick recap. Obviously, the only game that's going on in Major League Baseball is this one here on Patriot Day. We'll do the recap, and then we will finish off. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Vasquez. And here comes the pitch from Jacks. He holds at the belt. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's tapped slowly over to third. It's barehanded by the third baseman, Urshela, who throws, and it's going to not get Vasquez in time as Vasquez is able to beat it out for an infield single. And he is aboard with a leadoff hit here in the 9th inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. For JBJ today, he is officially 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. He's also walked. He steps up to the plate with the runner at first. And here comes the first offering from Jacks, and it is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1 to JBJ. The game got a little out of control in the top half of the 8th inning when the Twins stuck 4 runs on the board and separated and gave us a little bit of a run spread here. That's where the game started to separate. So no balls and 2 strikes now to Jackie Bradley Jr. as he fouls that pitch off. So it's now 0-2. Jack's ready to go back to work again. That one was fouled right off the foot of JBJ, by the way, on the 0-2. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Jacks gets his sign. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2 on Jackie Bradley Jr. In about 30 minutes' time, we will have one of our latest videos drop. It'll be another one of those Did You Knows. If you're around, be sure to check that out. Just the 30 to 40 second clips. We'll start using them in the games that we will call when the teams are being featured. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So be sure to check those out. They're not that long and gives you some information on players and different people in the game. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jackie Bradley Jr. The runner at first is Vasquez, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. Jacks holds at the belt, and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. That runs the count to 3-2. Jacks has faced 7 hitters since coming into the ball game, and 4 of them have taken him to the full count. It's not been easy work for the right-hander for sure. He's putting in a full day's work here. Here comes the 3-2 to Jackie Bradley Jr. He holds at the belt. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind third base, and that's going to keep the battle going. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Jacks is ready to get this going all over again. It comes set at the belt. Here comes the 3-2. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded into left field down the line. It's trouble. It's in the corner. It's off the wall. Larnach picks it up. Moving into third base is Vasquez. Cruising into second with a double is Jackie Bradley Jr. So the Red Sox are not dead yet as they got runners on second and third with nobody out here in the 9th inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order Enrique Hernandez. So Hernandez steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 4 today. He has struck out 3 times. He's also grounded out to second. That's also going to bring the pitching coach out of the Twins dugout, as he's come out to have a few words with his right-hander, Griffin Jax. I got to check to see who the Twins pitching coach is here, because he's not a big guy when he comes out to, and I don't think that Jax is particularly big. Jax is only 6'2". Their pitching coach comes out to the mound, and he is a full head shorter than Jax. This is Wes Johnson. And Wes Johnson right now is pretty animated with his right-hander on the hill. So we're ready to get back to the live action. Emilio Pagan, who was heating up earlier, is now starting to have to heat up again. They were kind of hoping to get through this inning without having to use up another arm. This is 35 pitches for Jax. So probably no matter what happens today, he will not be on the mound tomorrow. Maybe, who knows about on Wednesday. He's thrown 35 so far in this outing, and it's not gotten any easier. And here's the first pitch fastball. Swung on it, is lifted into right field. Drifting over toward the line is Kepler. He's going to make the catch. Tagging at third is Vasquez, but he's going to have to hold on the brakes. And that was not deep enough, as Hernandez has flown out to right for the first out of the inning. Kepler came up throwing. He made a good throw to the plate, as Miguel Sano has made the catch. Vasquez took off, and then he had to slam on the brakes. Max Kepler has a very strong arm. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Rafael Devers. The shortstop, the third baseman, Rafael Devers. Devers today is 1 for 4. He's singled, he's grounded out twice, and he's struck out. And there's a first pitch breaking ball swung on. Is popped up shallow on the infield. Coming in on it is Correa. He slides and makes the catch. And that is going to retire Devers for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. So a leadoff single by Vasquez, a double by Jackie Bradley Jr., but then 2 quick outs on 2 pitches. Leaves it all up to the shortstop, Bogaerts, to try to keep things going for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bogaerts is 2 for 4 today. He's got a single, a double. He's struck out, and he is grounded to short. The Bo Sox are down to their final out here. Nice play by Correa to have to come in and slide and make that catch. So Bogaerts steps in, and the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Bogaerts stood straight up. I don't think he liked that call particularly. But with a 6-run lead and 2 outs here in the 9th inning, Adam Hamari is finally making the wise decision to go up with the right hand. He wants to get this one over with. Here we go. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses low and away, and the count is 1-1. It's not what Red Sox fans want to hear, but the home plate umpire right now at this point has seen about enough. We're already 3 hours and 25 minutes deep into this one. JD Martinez is on deck. If the Red Sox are going to do damage, they're going to have to hit themselves on base. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count to 1-2. So now the Red Sox are down to their final strike. One ball and 2 strikes to Bogaerts. Just as a reminder, we'll wrap this one up after the game. We are going to be back on again. We're not going to be on tomorrow. We're going to be on Wednesday. We're going to do the Pirates and the Brewers Thursday. It's going to be the Yankees and the Tigers, and Friday it'll be the Pirates and the Cubs. And there is a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. Polanco slides and stops it. But that's going to get a run in, as they're not going to be able to retire Bogaerts at first base. A nice play by Polanco to keep it in the infield. And is only going to get one run back. It's going to be an RBI single for Bogarts. He is at first. Will score Christian Vasquez from third. It advances Jackie Bradley Jr. to third. He is unable to score on that, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, J.D. Martinez. For Martinez today, he is officially 1 for 4. He's singled, he's bounced into a fielder's choice, he has struck out and flown to right. And here's the first pitch from Jax. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed by Martinez, and the count now quickly is 0-2. So now the Red Sox again are down to their final strike, as Jax is looking to finish this one off. J.D. Martinez gets himself dug back in. He's waiting on the 0-2 offering. Here's the pitch from Jax. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded foul down the third baseline. That runs the count still to 0-2. Twins are looking to put this one in the book. There's runners on the corners here with 2 outs. But one swing of the bat here from Martinez could cut the lead to 2. As we said in Fenway, the game is never over. A 6-run lead is never safe. It can evaporate in a big hurry in this ballpark. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That runs the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.D. Martinez. Martinez digs himself in. He's ready to go back to work against the right-hander Jax. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and that is going to run the count now to 2-2. The toughest out sometimes in ball games is the final out. That's what we're looking at here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here comes the 2-2 pitch from Jax. And there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Martinez is erased for the 3rd out here in the 9th inning. And that is the ball game, everybody. The Red Sox pick up a run in the 9th inning. There was 1 run on 2 hits. Check that on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your final score, the Minnesota Twins 8, the Boston Red Sox 3. I want to thank everybody for being here. We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll wrap this one all up. Here's our friend Dave again.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero O'Clock Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Well, first of all, before we wrap this one up, we want to thank everybody who's checked in today. KK, undrafted player, Phil Cantalon, Redbeard Brinks. We had Baseball Boy 501, the hobbyist, Redbeard. We had Osahan. We had others that were here as well. And we do thank everybody who does check in, is able to be here, like father, like son. Everybody else that we missed, we apologize. But we do thank everybody for your time here. This was the only game going on in Major League Baseball today on Patriots Day, and we'll wrap this one up quickly. The final score was 8-3 for the Twins. Twins got on the board in the first inning early with a 2-run homer by Kyle Garlick. He added 2 more in the 3rd inning on a 2-run homer by Jorge Polanco. And then the Boston Red Sox got a couple of runs back. They were able to score 1 in the 5th inning, a double by Alex Verdugo, a single by Christian Arroyo. and Verdugo scored on a ground out by Christian Vasquez, and that cut the lead to 4-1. In the 7th inning was a solo shot by Vasquez that cut the lead to 4-2, but a 4-run uprising in the top of the 8th inning for the Twins did it. It was a leadoff walk to Max Kepler, followed by a walk to Gary Sanchez. Then after a couple outs, Luis Arias was intentionally walked, and with the bases loaded, Gilberto Celestino was walked. And then a single to Jorge Polanco. He drove in a pair, and that put 4 runs on the board for the Twins in that inning. The Red Sox were able to get one back in the 9th inning. That was a leadoff single by Vasquez, a double by Jackie Bradley Jr. They were later brought around with 2 outs by a single by Xander Bogaerts. And that is how the game had ended. 8-3 is your final. Reminder, Wednesday we'll be back on again for the Pirates and the Brewers. Thursday it's the Yankees and the Tigers. And Friday will be the Cubs and the Pirates again. So hopefully everybody can come on in and check out. Once again, everybody, you've listened to another Last Rounds Baseball video production. We hope you all have a great day. Come on back and see us for some more afternoon baseball later in the week. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again later.